I guess I can just do this. Alrighty. Let's give it one more try. Wow. I can't believe it. Like, I was just about to give up. I was this close to giving up. And then it started working. I can't believe it. Wow. I was actually like about to write that. Um, I was about to write that it was just straight up not working, and then it started working. Well, I better keep it like that because otherwise this is gonna be kind of painful. Last time we saw this character, we had a Irradiate, which is a pretty good spell, and I guess we also have Toxic Radiance, which is gonna be pretty good for these ugly things right now. Gonna wait another turn, Ignite Poison, boop. Okay, more ugly things. Toxic Radiance, gotta do the trick. Unfortunately, Ignite Poison is not gonna be very good against the red ones because they obviously take reduced fire damage, having fire resistance. Okay, they're all extremely poisoned. I think I'm gonna wait like 2 turns. There we go. That went well. If it was not for Toxic Radiance, this character would have had issues with that. Oh man, these guys are insane. I don't think I want to... Yeah, I think I just want to wait for them to die from that. Okay, never mind. We can just irradiate. Wizard. 30% chance to vanish. That is really bad. I am not wearing my Ring of Willpower. Let's fix that. I wonder why I swapped out of it. It's not something that I should do. Now it's only 7%, so it is significantly safer for me to fight this wizard. However, the wizard with support from a bunch of Skeletal Warriors, not so much. I probably should leave. Oh wow, I took so much damage out of nowhere. Skeletal Warrior hitting me and then ugly thing. I'm gonna re-teleport. It's white. I think I am less likely to die against a white ugly thing. Okay, pretty good teleport. Landed in the stairs, so we can just go upstairs. Alrighty. More Skeletal Warriors. I'm about to finish training for Toxic Radiance. What else should I train for? Manifold Assault? I think I should leave Manifold Assault for that last, because I can go with Dragon Form for a while. Yeah, it's also much cheaper to get Dragon Form first and foremost. So yeah, I think maybe going for like 16 transmutation, or yeah, 16 transmutations should be good. 16. So I can have access to Dragon Form, and then Dragon Form is the thing I win the game with. That's kind of lame. Okay, please get confused. Okay, it got confused. That's pretty good. Allows me to run away, because running towards that one guy is really dangerous. You never know when there's gonna be more Centaur Warriors behind that one. And if one is seriously damaging, more than one is just like a death sentence. Okay. They do not try to... Oh, I think it drowned. Okay. I thought that they would not move next to deep water, but they apparently did that, or at least one of them did. Okay. Skeletal Warrior, let's go upstairs. I hate Skeletal Warriors, by the way. They are really powerful. I think they could spawn in bolts and they would still be really dangerous. And by the way, are you guys listening to that or hearing that? Yeah, you are for sure. Let me mute that. Is it muted? Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go. Mm, okay. Well, back to D13 we go. We should be able to kill this Skeletal Warrior with Irradiates. It took me 4 Irradiates to destroy it. They are so tanky. Hmm. I do not care about that. We shall leave it on the floor because I already have a source of that. Same goes for that Ring of Poison resistance. And I guess See Invisible. I don't have a source of See Invisible, but I don't need See Invisible. It is extremely unlikely that I, on any given game, will be like, oh yeah, the correct thing to do right now is to put on that Ring of See Invisible, and that will save me. Like, that is just not a thing that happens in real life. Excuse me? Why am I the one taking damage? This is Skeletal Warriors. They are, like, really ridiculous. Oh, well, that is not good. Yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with Louise. She's a bit too powerful for me. I don't think I can kill her. Oh, yeah. I had already been here. I completely forgot, but then I got shafted to D15. Mm, mm, okay, Meth. Or Ogre's Toxic Gradients that destroys melee. Like, it's not an overstatement. They just die from. They can die from the Toxic Gradients alone. That's how powerful, or that's how weak they are to poison. I mean, Toxic Gradients is a powerful spell, but they're also a monster that happens to be really weak to poison. I already have Dragon Form on my spell library, so next time, or when I have the ability to learn it, I'm gonna learn it immediately. You know, I think I want to get Poisonous Vapors, and it's the perfect quiver spell, Poisonous Vapors. It is single target, so it is like a pretty good thing to mash on when you only have one monster on the screen, and then a couple of casts of that plus one cast of Ignite Poison will kill um, any monster that is not resistant to poison. Yeah, just like this. It's so powerful. Scarf of Invisibility is definitely not something that I care about, so we shall leave it on the floor. Okay. Now that I picked up Poison Magic, I feel much more powerful than I was before. I am glad that I like went for becoming a mage after those very powerful starting books that we found. It is probably the correct thing to do with this character. Something makes me think that Louise is not gonna be confused by Meth. 39%. She could get confused, but it is not very likely. 10% banishment is kinda bad. Oh, but yeah, I am a Lugonu worshipper. I am literally a Lugonu worshipper, so if I get banished, it's like, okay, I'll just heal to full HP and get out. Okay, Louise blinks. Well, I don't have any mana, so I'm going to walk to the stairs. Manticore. Let's try to confuse it. Okay, we confuse it. Okie dokie. Go upstairs. Rest the mana. Kill the Manticore. We don't need any support to help Louise this time. Luis is poisoned, so Luis is dead. Yeah, if you see that line of text, it's like a very easy fight to win. And so we do. Not a big deal by any stretch of the word. Okay, I don't need an Amulet of Reflection. I already have the amulet that I want to have with this character. I have mana regen with an option to swap for normal regen. Oh, it's two ice dragons. I thought that it used, or I thought that it always was one fire dragon and one ice dragon. It is a bit surprising to see two ice dragons this time around. That is the entrance to depths, and yeah, I think one dragon generates here and the other one generates there, something like that. I might be wrong, but I at least that's what I have noticed from all this time playing the game. Okay, we killed the ice dragon. Took a bit, but we get the kill. Skeletal Warrior is not dying. We ran out of mana, so we were unable to ignite poison. And wait a second, this asks me for +3 Ice Dragon skills. Did we get them? We didn't, unfortunately. Man, if we had gotten it, like, getting access to an early treasure trove like that is like so rare. It straight up doesn't happen. Um, And it can have like a significant impact on your character. Normally, when you are already able to go into a treasure trove, whatever you get from it, it's not gonna be good enough. I've been on that situation several times, and it kind of blows. Oh, someone is interact. Oh no, that's not what I want. In fact, I think I might remove this one. There we go. Kill bit tiles, interact. Just click on this. Oh, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, it's the bot. As usual, the bot. I think I prefer the bot than having people that watch on tiles. Because while they are watching, they are like having a one-sided experience and they type in the chat and then I don't read it and then I feel bad and they probably feel like I'm just ignoring them. And that is definitely the opposite of what I'm doing. I want them to watch on Twitch instead, so they can ask questions and I can directly like read them and answer. Kind of an issue of me playing console and the prevalent platform for playing Dungeon Crawl Stones with being tiles is that there's a lot of chatters and then I don't get to read them. But it is what it is. We are going to... I don't want to do Snake and I don't want to do Swamp. Yet again, we are at a point in the game. We're at a point in the game where no matter where we go, we're gonna have a bath time. This is where my Jin dies, the one that I was playing yesterday. You just jump in, and this place is really messed up, so it's super hard for you to not die here. One of the hardest parts of the game, in my opinion, the first level of the branch. Text is stuck on the screen. Oh no. Okay, I hope that it works. Oh, it's working. Okay, I'm so glad. Because at the start of the stream, like it took me like 10 minutes for it to start working properly. Yeah, sometimes whenever you expectate a game of console in tiles, it just gets stuck at a loading screen. And it really is quite annoying. Wow, double miscast of Irradiate? For real? It has 1%, come on. Well, I guess we're gonna try again. Double miscast of Irradiate at 1%. Truly unfortunate. What is this? I don't care about those spells, or those, or these. Well, I care about Orb of Destruction. It is a bit outside of my reach, but I would definitely love to have it as an option. However, I think Dragon Form is like it turns my melee into Orbs of Destruction if you think about it. Like the damage output from Dragon Form is that ridiculous. If you have never seen it or if you have never used it, it is that powerful. Mm, what is that? A 1 in 400 chance to double fail 100%? I think it's 1 in 1000 because 1% means that there is a 99% chance for you to succeed, and then to hit it 2 times in a row is like one. No, I think it's 1 in 10. I don't know. I think I might be wrong, but I think it's 1 in 10,000 or something along those lines. You were thinking 1 in 20 from D&D odds. Yeah, to get double crit or double critical fail. I think that's what it's called when you roll a one, and then really bad things happen if you roll a one. I have never really played Dungeons and Dragons, but I played NetHack, which is heavily inspired by Dungeons and Dragons, and I also have friends who play, who sometimes tell us tales about their characters and their quests. I keep telling my friend who plays that he should stream that because he also streams, but he doesn't stream Dungeons and Dragons. He should. He could be the Mexican Critical Role with the way that he tells things. Like it's so much fun. It's hilarious. He's pretty good at telling tales like that. But unfortunately, his play group is not comfortable with that, so he has never streamed it, and I don't think he ever will. Which is quite tragic. Maybe we should get my friend a better play group that is comfortable with streaming, and then they can make a ton of money, like Critical Role. Yeah. What is that? Assorted antiques. Okay, hopefully it will have something good. Now, when it comes to Isul, 47% chance to sleep. Let's make that lower. Um, I don't like my failure rates being like this, but that's fine. It's actually only bad for a Succubus armor that I have never trained, so it's not an issue. We shall continue. Okay, Isul. What's your chance to sleep? 11% with willpower, that's fine. One more? Almost dead? She didn't quite die from that. I guess I'm just gonna have to melee her. If things get pretty scary, if I drop below 100, I'm just gonna irradiate again, and I'll deal with the mutation. Wow, I can't believe that it took me so... Oh, it's because I am using a ring that gives me -5 slaying. Yeah, no wonder. No wonder. That means that I won't be killing Isul very quickly with a whip. Okay, scroll blinking is pretty sweet. You can never complain about a scroll blinking. Hey, Armor Boutique. Fingers crossed for Ice Dragon scales. Even though they would be expensive, they would let me go into that treasure trove. Unfortunately, we don't get them, but take a look at that letter armor, the one that is at the very start. Let's examine it. Strength +3, Slay +6, +6 letter armor. This is if this was a plate, it would be like a +20 plate. That's how significant it is, that +6 on that letter armor. Normally you cannot enchant it nearly as highly as that. You can enchant it to +3 at most because the base armor rating of it is 3. So to see it be +6 is kind of insane. Oh, I probably shouldn't. Huh, is it still extremely poisoned? Because, okay, that's convenient. It's a quality of life feature. If you cast Ignite Poison on a monster that is extremely poisoned and immune to fire, the poison doesn't get consumed. Alright. Unfortunately, we are kind of using Toxic Radiance without Ignite Poison here, because all these salamanders are immune to that, so there's not much that I can do to them other than cast the poison and then just run away. Ah, look at that! It's not terrible. The cold resistance is nice. I think I like the 5 intelligence a bit more. It's certainly being kind of helpful to have that 5 intelligence. Considering that my character started with 11 intelligence, yeah, it's been good to have this whip. Okay. I wonder what's my current skill level in transmutations. We are at almost 14. What is my chance to miscast Dragon Form? I see 17%. I think I'm gonna stop training that for now and just like go for like 15 spell casting so I can actually learn the spell. It also gets me immediate benefits, those being more mana and more success rate on literally everything else. So yeah, I don't think it's such a bad idea for me to train spell casting right now. Mm, oh, probably shouldn't do that. Okie dokie. Irradiate. I feel like Irradiate is doing quite well here. It kills things really fast. Mm, certainly, nothing that is not like a unique has tanked 4 Irradiates like those Skeletal Warriors that we were seeing in late dungeon. We found a File of Floods, which is probably the best experience evocable to find when you don't have any evocations training and you're probably not thinking about training evocations. Mm, okay, I gave myself yellow contamination with Irradiate yet again. It happens quite often. Um, it's kind of annoying that there is a limit as for how much Irradiate you can do in a short period of time. Kind of forces you to pillar dance until that goes away. Kind of a bad spot. I don't like the sharpshooter. Makes me a bit nervous. Mm. Okay. I have 9 immolation. Okay, let's make that 8. I am okay with making that 8. No big deal. Acid on the sharpshooter. It misses everything because I do not have a lot of evocations for accuracy. Um, so we go for Ice Blast, which cannot miss. And we go for Ice Blast again. Yeah, this is only to trigger the Inner Flame and to deal damage to things with the clouds of fire and the explosions. I don't really care about how much or little damage the Ice Blast effect deals, because the bulk of the damage comes from something else that just happens to need me to, or happens to require from me to deal damage to something else to trigger the extra damage. Mm, yeah, I like Inner Flame a lot. I don't have it, but well, like Immolation is Inner Flame. It just is Inner Flame on everything on the screen. It is probably one of my favorite hexes because it is a hex that deals damage. It's just not a thing that happens very often. Hex that deals damage. It also has a more a higher chance to actually work compared to other hexes. That's pretty sweet. Okay, we get slowed by the Guardian Serpent, I assume. Okay. Irradiate. Pretty good. That was not so bad. Like getting surrounded is not that terrible when you have Irradiate and half the things surrounding you just die from a single Irradiate. Okay. Surprisingly, that Black Mamba died from the whip, from me tabbing with the whip. I have 3.7 maces and only 22 strength and no slaying. I have +5 and -5 from my rings, so it's literally 0 slaying. I am thinking about irradiating or immolation again. It feels kind of not safe to fight in that spot, however. Naga Warrior seems to grow toxic. Oh man. I feel like there's some sort of commentary right there. Society time. Um, yeah, I think I want to do immolation again. I'm only going to eat 1 explosion. Excuse me? Wow, okay. That is insane. I took 73 damage there. Now I am kind of nervous. You're strong, right? You're not. Oh, you are also strong. Okay, no wonder. No wonder. Yeah, if I was fighting against the strong Nagas, I would also take 73 damage IRL. Um, okay, the Naga warrior is heavily wounded. Unfortunately, it is not dead. And I don't have anything to deal damage to it from afar. That's kind of the greatest weakness of this character. That I still cannot do anything to monsters that are far away. I need something else to be able to do that. Like for example, Ice Blast. Or like I have javelins. I think it's too unsafe for me to throw a javelin. Because it would take more than one turn for me to throw the javelin, let alone doing the same for a rock. I am not that afraid of a Nagaraja, believe it or not. I think the Naga warriors, or at least the Naga warrior, was a slightly more dangerous. So I'm gonna try to throw a rock. Let's see if we hit. Okay, and it does cast like a million times, right? Well, it only took 2 turns. It took me literally 2 turns to throw that rock, but that's kind of what I signed up for. But we end up killing the Nagaraja. Do I have javelins? I guess I dropped all my javelins because I thought that I was not gonna use them. That's fine. That's fine. It's not an issue. I wonder if I'm fighting Nagas from the bolt. Yeah, at this point I wouldn't be surprised if I was indeed fighting Nagas from the vault. But I'm still like faster than Nagas. That's one of the greatest weaknesses of Nagas, that they're slow, so you can just run away and regain all your HP and then come back. But yeah, doing Snake, the land of monsters with poison resistance, with a character that rebels in the use of toxic radiance is not particularly the best. However, sometimes there is sometimes we encounter monsters that are not poison resistant, like those shock serpents. Normally, I would not like them because they have ridiculous damage output. But this character, it has resistance to electricity from that ring that we got. The one that I hope to be able to replace one of these days. And I also have great damage output against monsters that do not have poison resistance, thanks to poisonous vapors and toxic radiance and ignite poison. Um, so I am not afraid of them, not with this character. Naga warriors, on the other hand, let alone like sharpshooters. Sharpshooters are like just a straight up death for this character. With 9 evasion, 10 shield, 14 armor class, they are going to hurt. At least I have 184 HP, so if I get hit for like 100 in any given turn, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is bad because I just got hit for 100, right? But it could be much worse. Yeah, that could happen with a Spriggan or a cat or an octopode, and then things would be seriously bad. Mm. Okay, better not be in line of sight of the Guardian Serpents. I was expecting that to happen. And yeah, that now I am scared because any second now these guys could battle cry and then I kind of explode. I am currently being constricted, so let's do vent space. Bad vent space. I wanted to not be surrounded by all 3 Naga warriors after doing vent space. I am not grabbed, so I think I may be able to normally blink. Oh, can you stop doing that? Okay. Oh, that is sick. That was super good. Um, because I got to kill the 2 Guardian Serpents, and now, even while slow, I think I might be able to run away from the Naga warriors. I think they're that slow that when I am myself slow, I can still outrun them. No, not a 3rd Guardian Serpent. That is messed up. Okay, now I am fast. So hopefully I will be able to escape. I don't have digging. Digging would have been pretty good here to dig like down and then dig into this hatch and then just go upstairs. But since I don't have that option, I think I'm just gonna walk away. Yeah, walking away seems to be kind of working. By the time the Nagas reach me, I'm gonna be close to full HP, so I can fight a single Naga warrior. Okay. And I can now learn Dragon Form, so I'm going to go ahead and continue training Transmutation so I can learn it. Good evening, Shaper. Good to see you around. Thank you for stopping by. We continue with this Ogre, the Warrior. Warrior title. When did that happen? Wasn't I an Ogre Mage before? No idea. Mm, but yeah, this character is going relatively well. At least I haven't died in the lair branch yet. I consider that to be a victory. I also haven't had to use scroll blinking, and I got myself to yellow contamination. Chances are good that I'm gonna get malmutated from this contamination. You feel frail. That is something that I do not like, so I'm gonna remove that. And yeah. Mutation. Ooh, that's really bad. That's still really bad. Oh, I should have. I should have kept. I don't know. I don't think any of the mutations that I had there were keepable, and now we're stuck with frail. But we have hidden genetic potential, so chances are good that we lose it. You see more jello in my future. Me too. Me too. Oh wait, actually, chances are good that there's not gonna be a lot of Jello in the future because now I have access to Dragon Form, so I can learn that, and then it's at 12%. I'm gonna keep training transmutations, maybe to 15, and then I'm gonna start going hard on unarmed combat, and then we just Dragon Form unarmed combat everyone, and they die. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do... Oh, not that either. Why is that there? It should be capital D for dragon. Um, where is Ignite Poison then? Oh, wrong key. Yeah, sure, it doesn't matter. But anyway, we are a dragon now with 247 HP and 0 unarmed combat, I have to say. So whatever damage that we get here is going to be the damage that Dragon Form apports and nothing more. And I still one-shot that Naga Ritualist with 0 unarmed combat. That's how good Dragon Form is. And it will only get better the more unarmed combat I train. Why not train 5.4? I'm going to train like 23 or something when it comes to unarmed combat. It's just that I haven't had enough experience to do that yet. But it is definitely like the plan. Dragon Form, Manifold Assault, big unarmed combat, and then just winning the game like that. That is a hard carry spell, or a hard carry spell combination. Yeah, you love to see it. The damage is so good. I thought that I had poison resistance being a dragon. I have weakness to cold, but I don't think anything here is cold. Or like nothing here attacks me with cold, so I'm not too afraid of that. Hey, look at that. I also am a dragon, so I cannot be constricted. That is a very nice upside, so it might be optimal for me to be a dragon around here. Yeah, being a dragon, it's not like, in fact, being a dragon gives me more armor class than I would have not being a dragon. That is a funny thing to think about. I unfortunately don't have a lot of willpower. I guess I can take off the Ring of Poison Resistance and -5 Slaying. And I can put on the Ring of Willpower. Maybe put on the Ring of Evasion for this fight. It wouldn't really do a lot. Never thought of Dragon Form to escape Constrict. I'm pretty sure it lets you escape Constrict. I have not tried it, but I know that you cannot be constricted because they're like massive. It's kind of silly to think that an anaconda will be large enough to be able to constrict a dragon. Yikes. Okay, that went well. That went well. We got a pretty good teleport. I can just rest to full HP. And put on the Ring of Evasion, or maybe the Ring of Willpower, so I don't get slowed again. Take this off. So now we still have poison resistance. Then why was I using that? Oh, because of shock serpents and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Um, so yeah, I was thinking that I was gonna have to use Dragon Form to give myself poison resistance if I didn't want to use that ring. Fortunately, it will not be the case. Oh, a yellow contamination again. It's been happening so much. I should stop doing that. I should start using Dragon Form for killing single targets as opposed to Irradiate. Dragon Form, single target, we poke it, and it dies. Okay. Salamander Tyrant making me weak is kinda bad because now my melee is still amazing. 0 unarmed combat, Dragon Form melee while weak, and I still got 3 exclamation signs against the Salamander Tyrant. But yeah, the correct thing to do is to just irradiate it. Oh yeah, this feels good. I take a lot of damage, but then I am an ogre, so ogre HP plus dragon form means that yeah, like even taking a lot of damage doesn't mean that I take a lot of um, damage percentage wise. Like I don't lose. Taking 80 damage is like taking 33% of my maximum HP, whereas for some other characters at this stage of the game, it would be more than 50% of their HP. Oh, what if I berserk Bashnia in dragon form? Okay, you love to see 370 HP in Snake at experience level 18. Well, 17. Oh, I just leveled up and I also hit 15 transmutations from killing Bashnia like that. I wonder if I should get Manifold Assault before getting Unarmed Combat. I think that is the correct order to get those things. First Dragon Form, then Manifold Assault, then Unarmed Combat. That doesn't sound bad at all. Doesn't Bashnia have like 200 HP? Yeah, but I didn't kill her with Dragon Form alone. First I used Irradiate like 3 times, and then I just like finished it off with Dragon Form, Berserk. You'll get Unarmed Combat first since you have ranged already. Do I have ranged? I just mentioned like a couple of minutes ago that I was actually like struggling killing things from afar because I have Irradiate and I have like Toxic Radiance and Meth and Ignite Poison, but I don't have like Stun Arrow or Iron Shot or something that I can just point at a monster to shoot it from afar. I don't have that, so that is a good enough reason for me to want to get Manifold Assault first, and so I shall. I am going to get 11 translocations. That should be enough. Yeah, this is getting pretty good. The transformation lasts for quite a while, or maybe it is because I am using an Amulet of Regen. I don't think the amulet gets melted when you turn into a dragon. I should maybe consider Lesser Beckoning. Well, I think it's maybe a bit too late for that now, but Lesser Beckoning would have been pretty decent against those guys. Wow, okay. Not much that we can do against that. I guess I'm gonna put on my ring of resistance to electricity to not die to that single shock serpent. You're getting double sapped. Was I? No, I was not. I was not getting double sapped. I was not getting double sapped. I was getting single sapped. That's how crazy the damage from Shock Serpents is if you don't have Armor Class or Willpower. Banish? Well, it's a bit too late for that. I also don't have any invocations, so I don't have any of these things other than the Part of the Abyss and Bend Space. If I really wanted to, I could spam Corrupt, but it needs to be in a controlled environment. Like, I cannot just throw it as a panic button. It was able to double sap me. I think what it was happening is that for some reason, like since it's a corner or some weird thing, I think the bot was not double sapping me. But I might be wrong. The point is that I was not getting double sapped. I thought that maybe I would be getting double sapped, but there it is. Like The luck doesn't lie. I just was getting like destroyed by single sap bolts of electricity. If I had been double sapped, however, I would have died from that. Like that is pretty bad. I hate juggling rings. It's probably one of my least favorite things in Crawl. I would like to see it gone, but I also have no good suggestions for juggling rings that don't involve like, oh, you found this ring, now you permanently have the resistance. And obviously that would be way broken. It would be too powerful for players, so it would never get implemented. And that's like the only thing that I can think of. Um, Lightning bolt should be 3 dice of 13. You were taking 40 plus. The only turn I took 40 plus, I got hit by a bolt, and I also got hit by retaliatory damage. See, there's 21, 20, well, there 24, 21, 25, and then the turn I took 49, I got hit by retaliatory damage from the shock serpent. That is why I took so much damage that one turn. Yeah, it was close, and I used Ignite Poison, and it didn't die from Ignite Poison. That's crazy. It was almost dead. But it is what it is. You know, Crawl is like that. At least we didn't die, and we didn't have to use Blinking, so it's pretty good. We got the first rune, so now we can go do bolts. And yeah, we can go do bolts. Oh, can I learn Manifold Assault? Just out of sheer curiosity. Oh, I think I already know of it. It's at 22%. Looking good. It's going to become a real option really soon. I'm kind of excited for that. Oh, let me quiver. Let me quiver my spell. Oh, I just had a big brain idea of how to fix this. What if when you press this, instead of getting this trash, you get a menu that tells you what do you want to quiver, and then you press the button to like cast a spell or use an ability or fire a throwable, and then it only like filters it like this. I feel like that would be sweet. Killer Queen has touched the deep troll. Yeah, and the deep trolls just like explode. So what are we going to quiver? I want to quiver poisonous vapors. Yeah, poisonous vapors. Poisonous vapors. Should I carry around that ring of fire? I think I'm gonna drop it because if I need fire resistance, I have dragon form, so I can just cast that. Okay, 10% hexes is as good as it's going to get. We can definitely deal with the Sphinx thanks to the Ogre's above average willpower. It's not very well known, but they actually have 4 willpower per level up instead of 3 like almost every other species. That is pretty nice. Okay. Righty. And yeah, we are in the land of Toxic Radiance Ignite Poison. You know, I am glad that instead of getting nerfed or just straight up removed, it got changed into not being a thing that you can have from the very start of the game. Yeah, because it is still like the same level 3 and level 4 spell that destroy bolts, but now you're not guaranteed to find them, and so it becomes very sweet if you do end up finding those things. Kidoki. That went well. Those Preserver guys are so tanky. 112 HP, I never noticed, but they really are tanky. Kidoki. That didn't kill the deep trolls, unfortunately. I think I'm gonna have to cast it again. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, we're getting so many trolls. And as I mentioned yesterday, They do generating bolts, but I don't think I've seen a single Earth Mage, because the gimmick of the Earth Mage being that they can dig through walls, and bolts being made out of stone and later metal, they wouldn't be able to dig through that. They would deal some mean LRD damage for sure, but they don't generate here. I wonder if there should be a monster that generates here that has LRD. Probably not. If I have to say, if I had to like make a choice in the matter, I would say that there shouldn't be a monster that has LRD here. Because if you think about it, there's already a monster that fulfills a similar purpose in the form of the Frostheart. You still don't want to be standing next to a wall regardless of your defenses or resistances when dealing with a Frostheart, because it still slows you if you're standing next to a wall. Mm. Okie that is not a Bogart. That is an Etin Simulacrum. I almost cast Dragon Form on that Etin Simulacrum, and then I remembered that it makes me weak to cold, and that is the kind of thing that kills you. So I am not going to do that. By the way, what's my Manifold Assault looking like? 2%. It's looking pretty good. We're just about to start training on armed combat, and then we're gonna go so high on unarmed combat. It's gonna be so good. I am a bit sad about the -1 unarmed combat. I think every time that I've gotten the pieces to do Manifold Assault Dragon Form on an Ogre, I am always dissuaded by the fact that they have -1 on armed combat. And truly, -1 on armed combat is really, really bad because you need to level it up quite highly. Oh, look at that! 4 exclamation signs with 0 unarmed combat still. The thing is that now I don't have I have 5 slaying, and before I didn't. It looks like a bunch of simulacrum there. Oh, that's not good. I guess I can run away. It's not an issue. Okay. Manifold. What's the manifold button? Oh, okay. It's working pretty good with 0 unarmed combat, let me tell you. Obviously, I'm still going to get the unarmed combat for it to become even better, but it's not like bad. It's definitely better than you would think it would be. Hmm. Yeah, I am surprised by how powerful Dragon Form is, even with 0 unarmed combat. Okay. Those guys are always scary. If I had known that it would have been so strong, I probably wouldn't have gone for the shield. Because I went for the shield earlier. But then again, if I hadn't gone for the shield, maybe I wouldn't be alive. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe I did do the correct choice. And I'm just thinking greedily. One more. Ignite Poison. Ouch. Oh, stupid Yactor Captain. Why didn't you die from the Ignite Poison? Yeah, that's kind of bad. I don't want that to kill me. I'm gonna read Blinking. Unfortunately, I took a lot of damage doing that one turn. 60 something damage. I have regen, so it's fine. I think I might be able to. Oh, never mind. Center Warrior, being a Center Warrior, being way faster than I am. Apparent antennae. Well, that's worthless. At least it doesn't lose me a shield, but it does kind of suck. Heal wounds. Heal wounds again. Toxic Radiance. Yikes. Oh, yeah. Okay, okay. It moved and then it shot me. I think I'm just gonna re-teleport. I'm thinking that maybe I shouldn't have killed the Centaur warriors that were next to me, because that allows the Yoctor captain to shoot me, and the Yoctor captain is exponentially more dangerous than the Centaur warriors. It can hit for 30 plus Arbalest. It can deal up to 18 extra damage when attacking with ranged weaponry. So I wonder if that 18 extra damage includes the weapon. Now that I think about it. Yeah, I only just realized, but 18 is the base damage of the Arbalest, so maybe that's the number that is getting displayed. What does the Master Archer say? 20. Huh. Oh, that not only takes into account the weapon, it also takes into account the Master Archer bonus that some monsters get. That's probably the explanation. So it's not 20 damage plus weapon. It's only plus 20 damage if it's attacking you with its weapon. That's a nice thing to see. I'm thinking Ignite Poison here. Ignite Poison will kill everyone. I think. I hope. Maybe the Yactor captain survives. 10 armor, class 9 evasion in bolts. Yeah, it's the Ogre lifestyle. Okay, we don't kill the Yoctor captain? You gotta be joking. It's almost dead. Come on. I went for the Ignite Poison and it killed everything except for the one thing that I actually wanted to kill. The one thing that can deal 15-9 damage in a single turn. Man, that sucks. Then Irradiate. You would move forward to force melee, then irradiate. But then the Great Orb of Ice is mighty, and these things have a melee attack, believe it or not. Bite for 20 damage, which can be 30. Um, Moving forward to force melee could be an interesting thing. However, I would take a lot of damage from those guys. I think what I'm gonna do instead is drink heal wounds, and then the teleport triggers. That's what I was expecting. The teleport to trigger that turn. Um, so it's fine. Okay. Let's maybe walk away for a bit. Easy peasy. That was very awkward, but I guess that is the nature of archers and stuff like that. Um, they're really dangerous to my character because my defenses are trash. Okay, I have been thinking that if I already trained transmutations to 15, I might as well train conjurations also all the way up to 15 to increase the spell power on Irradiate, and 15 conjurations also gives me access to Orb of Destruction. Like, if with 15 transmutations I can cast Dragon Form, with 15 conjurations I can cast Orb of Destruction because they're both level 7 singles cool. So that could be a thing to think about. That is enough translocations that I don't think I'm gonna ever need more. Um, but yeah, I think first I'm gonna get some unarmed combat. At the very least, like 16 or so. At the very least. I got shafted. Okay. I have 2 magic mapping, now 1. Okay, fortunately we have upstairs very close to ourselves. We can get out. Am I cold resistant? I am. Fortunately, this white ugly thing is not nearly as deadly as it could be. It's still pretty deadly, but not as deadly as you would think. One more. Okay, now we wait. That didn't kill everything, but it went fine. And I still have Ignite Poison, or Toxic Radiance rather. Okay. The power of Ignite Poison compels you all to bail from my game, I guess. Okay. Irradiates. Oh man, it shifted into being white and dealt 27 in a single turn. That's the most damage that I've taken during this fight, by the way. It's all been like 8-6, um, and me killing a bunch of things, and then 27 out of nowhere. It's fine, it's fine. Definitely not an issue, especially considering that I can just like kill it very soon. 3 mana, goodbye. Okay. Pretty good poisonous vapors. I think the white ugly thing was unpoisoned, and a single poisonous vapors put it at extremely poisoned. I don't know how that works, but I'm not gonna complain about that. Raibo Morso, thank you for stopping by. Cute emote. Is that a global emote? Do I have that? I do! Oh, it's a global emote. I wonder if it's gonna be temporary as part of like a Genshin Impact campaign or if it's just like a permanent thing. I know that they have put temporary emotes, global emotes that eventually get removed for advertisement purposes. It's probably the same thing. Yikes, I got hit for 14-9 and knocked away from the stairs. That's not good. I'm gonna read that blink. We get smitten. It's funny how fast you can take damage as a Nogger. Forced into a melee fight, it doesn't go well for you. You still have a lot of things to do in Genshin, but you're too lazy to do them. I have never played Genshin, and I have friends who play Genshin, but yeah, it's like very, very hard, not my thing. Um, that kind of game, like very open worldy, not really my thing. I prefer my games to be linear, believe it or not. People love open world games for some reason, but no, I prefer my gaming experience to be designed with like a progression in mind. And then it's always nice when you can choose to break the progression once you have like experience with the game and once you know what you're doing. But if it's your first playthrough and then you're thrown into like the middle of nowhere and you don't know what you're doing, and it's not so nice. I feel like Crawl does that pretty well. Of course, it might be like the little years of experience that I have playing Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, but I feel like Crawl leads you towards a path. Like you start in the dungeon, not a lot of places where you can go, and then you may find the entrances to Lair and Orc, and you might go in and you might realize, oh, these things are a bit too powerful for me, so you get out and do the dungeon instead. And then when you get to that point in the dungeon, then you go do some of the other things that you were unable to do before because they were so dangerous, and now they're not so dangerous. So I think that's like a pretty genius way to make progression or to design progression. Even if you're like a completely unspoiled player, like isolated, not a part of the community, with no one to help them, no spoilers or anything, the game teaches you that as long as you like think about it, as long as you want to keep your character alive, you're gonna think of things that you can do to keep your character alive. And like the obvious thing to do if you go into Lair being like, I don't know, experience level 8 or something, is that most likely you're going to almost die to like the first thing that you see in Lair, and then you're gonna be like, this place is too dangerous, I'm gonna go do something else. So yeah, on that regard, I really like the progression of Crawl. It is fantastic. No complaints about it. Mm. Oh, sometimes you don't get a good manifold assault, and that is kind of sad. Not much to do about it, however. Okay, so this is like a dead end. I know that there's no monsters over here. So getting marked is not that bad even though I don't have access to stairs. So I can just get out or like run towards this dead end and like fight whatever comes my way in a much more controlled environment. Yeah, I'm still in dragon form, so I hit like a truck. Yeah, look at that Sphinx, it just died. Oh man, Dragon Form is amazing. I am very glad that I chose to do this. And that like gives me newfound respect for Dragon Form. I didn't think that it was going to be this good with zero unarmed combat, but it definitely has exceeded my expectations for it. Mm. By the way, I've been looking for like emote artists. Whenever I post my like my tweet for going live, I always ask for artists to like show their portfolio. I've only gotten one reply, and I didn't really like the style of the person, so I didn't like follow up. I have no emote artist. And I've been asking some of my fellow streamers, the ones that I watch, um, what who made their emotes and stuff like that, and have a possible candidate, um, but they have a backlog, so that's why I haven't pulled the trigger. Yeah, they have a backlog of at least two people, so I'm kind of waiting. But I just like came to the conclusion that if I keep waiting, instead of being a backlog of two people, it's gonna turn into a backlog of three or more people if I don't just pull the trigger right now. So I think I should contact the artist for at least one emote. I wanna upload two, um, or I wanna get at least two emotes commissioned. They're kind of expensive, $25 per emote. But I guess it's understandable because you get like the full rights to wherever they're creating and that kind of stuff. Seems understandable to me. Okie I am very glad that I chose to also go for Toxic Radiance. It's been a very important tool of my arsenal ever since I got it. Yeah. Ooh, wow. What's your chance to do that? 8, and you did it. That's mean. What did we just get? Animate dead and zombie hands. Um, yeah, I'm fine. I'm gonna pass on those. Okay. What's my unarmed combat now? 8. I think what's the breakaway point? It's like every 5.4 is minus 0.1 delay, right? That's how it works. Yeah, every 5.4. So 16.2 is where I get 0.7 attack delay. I think I should train it to 16.2 then. 16.2. Okay, it definitely feels nice to be able to tap even a normal slime creature because I just have the HP to tank one hit from it and I can also kill it. It is obviously like an unsafe thing that you probably shouldn't do if you want to win, but I can afford to do it for sure. Okay, run away from the Octors. I wanted to go in there, but I don't know if there's gonna be more monsters in, so I better play it safe. Dragon form. Manifold, 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 manifold. That killed mostly everything. Not bad, and it will only get better the more unarmed combat I get. Pretty good. Yeah. Have any of you like ever gotten a manifold character like this, or a manifold dragon form character like this? It's super good and super fun. Um, Once it really gets going, you feel the power. It's one of the most powerful experiences that you can get in this game because things die in 2 turns pretty much. Even things like orbs of fire just like explode from it. You like open world games because you have plenty of control over your movements and you can choose your fights. Exploration plays a part on it too. Yeah, it's as I was mentioning yesterday. Sometimes people will like things for the same reason I dislike them, and I feel like that's one of those occasions. I am not too much of a fan of exploration in the games, or at least not in 3D games. But then I also have a bias against 3D games. If it's a 3D game, it needs to be like something truly extraordinary for me to be very interested in it. Like for example, a FromSoft game, like any Dark Souls, well, except for one. One is not so good in my opinion. Two and three were, well, obviously three is amazing. Two is not so amazing, but still more palatable than one in my opinion. Um, those are pretty extraordinary games, and they're like 3D games, but I still greatly enjoy them, and I like them quite a bit. And obviously, I am excited for Elden Ring, even though it is a 3D open world game, which is really like something that I have repeatedly said on this stream that am not very interested in, that I do not like a lot. You tried playing Dwarf Fortress, wasn't your thing at all? Yeah, it also wasn't my thing. I've never, well, I downloaded Dwarf Fortress, and I am like as uninterested as a person can be on the on the first, on like the normal mode, the one that everyone knows, like even people who don't play roguelikes. Um, the Fortress mode, I think that's what it's called. And then Adventure mode, it takes like a 10 minutes for you to make a character. Like you need to like pretty much write their whole backstory. And I did like half of that, and I came to the conclusion that it was not the game for me. So I have never played Dwarf Fortress. Like the barrier of entry is too high in that way, at least. Um, so yeah. Mm, okay, that is fine. I'm not too afraid of these guys. Well, I am a bit afraid of the simulacrum, but that's about it. Okay. Okay. That went well. We only took 50% of my HP in damage, which translates to 135 HP. Uh, why did I not pick that up? I kind of want to drink this. Hey, I got rid of Frail, and I got 4 shield, and I still keep my fire resistance, looking pretty good. Yeah, that's definitely fine. I cannot complain about what we got from that potion of mutation. I hope that I do not get mutated at all for the rest of the game. Now that I have Dragon Form and we're getting the unarmed combat up, it's definitely gonna be much easier. I think after I get 16 unarmed combat, I am going to train invocation, so I have access to Lugonus things, because mostly this character has been an atheist. I have not done banish, corrupt, or enter the abyss once. I've only done bend space. I have also haven't done the part the abyss, but I have it as an option if I ever get banished. Being a Lugano worshipper, the abyss is kind of like my backyard, so I can just go in and get out immediately. You have faith that we will see you go jello again? I hope not, but it could happen. It is most likely going to happen from a Sot trap or from like a transmutations miscast, which can give you a lot of contamination. So I can see myself like irradiating once or twice and then going for Dragon Form and miscasting it and getting yellow contamination like that. But I don't think I'm gonna have to spam irradiate to the point where I'm gonna like give myself yellow contamination from irradiate alone. I don't. I think we are past those days now that I have other things that I can do to kill monsters. Um, let's go down to bolts. Oh, have I already done bolts 4 or what? Oh, never mind. I came back for the potion of mutation to get rid of the frail. I think that I should inscribe this with don't attack, and also twitch.tv/9settler. Yeah, that way I won't ever attack with the whip, or like not anymore. Like the game will prompt me to attack with the whip if I really want to attack. And instead of that, I should like cast Dragon Form. Mm, Okay, many folds, many folds. The damage is on another level. I wonder if that is related to the fact that I have 5 slaying, but it's most likely the fact that I am a dragon and I am like punching things really hard. One-shotting things. One-shotting both wardens, by the way. Take a look at that. That was both warden from full HP to death. And I also got hit by a frost heart and I took 53. Unfortunately, in dragon form I lose my cold resistance. That is something to keep in mind. If I find a ring that gives me any of the properties that I currently have, but also cold resistance, it is going to be a very important ring for me to have if I want to use this later in the game, especially in Sot with all the white draconians and their 3 dice of 27 cold breath. Yeah, oh, 3 dice of 28. It got buffed. It used to be 3 dice of 27. For some reason, it got buffed or something. I'm pretty sure it was 3 dice of 27. It is kind of making you play a transmuter of Wujian. It would be pretty good because Wujian is pretty good, and transmuting is also pretty good. It is kind of expensive, but if you get the thing, go for it for sure. Oh, I went to dungeon accidentally to D3. I wanted to go to Bolt 3 to rest of the mark. Kind of a typo, but it's not an issue. It's not like the Sot clock is a real thing either way. 18,000 turns in bolts I can spend. One more. Ignite poison. Irradiates. Okay. Floating eye. Oh, it is a shapeshifter. Okay. 18,000 turns in what? I have the Sot clock instead of food. You know, that's how it works now. So I was referring to the fact that Sot will find me in 17,857 turns if I stay in this branch and explore no new floors. Every time you go into a new level from a branch, you gain 6,000 turns of Sot clock, up to a maximum of 27,000 turns. So you can like really take your sweet time. Unless you're doing really weird things, you're never gonna interact with the Sot clock, which is the way that it should be. The Sot clock should be there just to dissuade you from doing boring but optimal things like shouting repeatedly every tile to alert monsters and to pull them towards a more safe spot to fight them on. That is the sole purpose of the Sot clock, and it fulfills it pretty well. Okay, pretty good. Oh, you turned into a guardian serpent. Better close the door. I don't want to have anything to do with a guardian serpent. What is a Sot? Is it some god-slaying entity that, for whatever reason, wants your character dead? The Sot clock is kinda like, well, it is the replacement of food. Food used to be a thing before 0.26. I think 0.26 is when food got removed. Has it already been a year for food to, or like, has it been a year of no food? If so, congratulations on the development team for that. But yeah, what is a Sot? Sot is in the lore of a different game, the gnomish guy who creates the orb. I don't think Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup has that. Maybe it does. Let's see if we can look it up. Item Orb of Sot. It doesn't say anything about it. But anyway, the point of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup is to grab this thing and get out of here. An invaluable artifact. Once you have escaped to the surface with it, your quest is complete. But it is the Orb of Sot, which is in the realm of Sot, who was created by theoretically a wizard named Sot. So I guess the way that the lore explains the Sot clock is that the corruptive influence of the realm of Sot will find you in this amount of time if you stay in this floor and take no, or like stay in this branch and explore no new levels. It's kind of like that. Yeah, I like it a lot as a mechanic, much more than I ever liked food. NetHack, I think the thing about NetHack, I know that I compare Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup to NetHack quite a lot, but it's because NetHack and Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup are like the two roguelikes that I've played the most. Um, so I can like draw direct comparisons between the two of them and like make very well informed statements when it comes to comparing them. Um, NetHack does have a kind of interesting food system. Mm, Depending on what you eat, you can become permanently stronger. Like you can get permanent resistances, which in NetHack they are not resistances; they're immunities. Like you straight up never take damage from the things that you're resistant to ever in the whole playthrough. Once you gain the resistance, and you can get resistance to a lot of things in NetHack from eating those things. So no rings required. Only you only eat them and then you're good for the rest of the game. And the food system can also kill you because sometimes you find things early in the dungeon that are not quite the safest thing that you can eat, and that kills you or like severely damages your character permanently. And it's a whole different game with like whole different mechanics. I guess it's up to you whether you like that kind of thing or not. As for myself, I kind of like them when I was learning them, as I always mentioned, but after enough NetHack, you come to dislike those things. They become pretty tedious. Fortunately, Crawl is not like that. Okay, we found Bai Sushen. I swapped into the ring of resistance to electricity for her not to sap me with her thunder clouds. Let's see here. I only have weakness to cold, but that's fine. And in dragon form, we should greatly outdamage Bai Sushen. Yeah, take a look at that damage. You love to see it. Language of Sot is said to come from the game The Wizard's Castle. That is the game that originated Sot as a concept. Ooh, those are good storm scales. And I would love to wear them, but I think if I put them on, my spellcasting as a whole takes a nosedive. But I'm gonna give them a try, just to see. No, no, I don't want to do that in the vicinity of any one monster. Okay, and I got marked as well. Let's go to bolts 3. Okay, now I think I can do it. Ends transformation. Let us wear the storm scales. 45% chance to miscast dragon form. It has to be because I have 0 armor, right? Because I think I have enough strength and everything to be able to. Yeah, 25 strength is more than enough to be able to wear that properly. I like these defenses, or like these resistances. There's 1 pip in everything. Most likely we are not gonna see them like that very often because we're gonna be in dragon form more often than not. You know what this character really needs? Statue form. Statue form is like my storm dragon skills, but I don't think I have it. Have I not found Roxanne? I must have seen Roxanne. No, I have not seen Roxanne. 0 armor will do that. Yeah, 0 armor will do that for sure. But I don't think I want to commit to training armor for now. I am going to go back to my boring +0 throw letter and having 14 defenses in bolts 3. Well, 14, 9, 14 defenses, but great damage output at least. Convoker convoking. Poisonous vapors. Berry Poison, Poisonous Vapors again, Ignite Poison, and we get the kill before it convokes. You love to see it. I was wondering if it could do its thing when I was standing next to an open door, so I retreated, but I retreated into a closed door. Um, yeah, it seems to me that every time you find a Frostheart, you find it in an arena where you're like almost guaranteed to get hit by the Frostheart's one attack that it has. Okie This should be easy with Dragon Form and 13.5 unarmed combat. Yeah, take a look at that. I wonder if Dragon Form is like more accurate than your average unarmed combat, or if it's the 5 slaying doing the thing. I should drop this row of fire resistance. I'm never going back to it. And we ended up not getting a volcano, so yeah, it outgrew its usefulness. Okay. I am still weak to cold in dragon form, so whenever I see a bug body or something, I should take care because those guys hurt you in a similar way to frost hearts. I like that the Goliath frog now has an indicator in console that says reaching, so you know that it can hit you from afar. Just the same as with monsters with polearms have monsters with polearms in console have an indicator that says polearm, so you know that it can hit you from afar. It is especially useful when dealing with monsters that could have one of many different weapon types, such as gnolls, orcs, and whites. Skeletal Warriors, I don't think they have polearms very often, or at least I haven't noticed. Regardless, they are still like a massive threat, no matter what they get. Okay. Oh, if you melee an Hydra with Dragon Form, it it grows heads. I didn't know that Hydra Form chopped off Hydra heads. I guess it's understandable because it does give you Claws 3. I think it does give you Claws 3. You have a powerful clawing attack. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, this is going quite well. I was surprised to find out that Dragon Form with zero unarmed combat is that good. I wonder why I never thought of it, but yeah, like that's what 38 base damage. I think that's what it has. That's what it will do. Oh yeah. Oh, maybe I shouldn't be in Dragon Form against Francis, or I should, but I should prevent her from casting spells with File of Lots. Now I can kill her very easily. When you play tiles, of course, just wait until you see that each tile holds a unique weapon, and you can tell if it's enchanted or not, or even if it's a specific on Randar. That is insane. That's a lot of information that tiles provide to you. I like my more simplistic crawl experience, however. It might also be related to the fact that I have been playing like that for 10 years, almost 11 at this point. But yeah, you love to see the one-shots on the Hydras. Man, it feels good to play a Dragon Form character. You feel like the most unbeatable thing in the game. It's like having a character with a two-handed weapon, but better, because the damage vastly outweighs the damage of a two-handed weapon. It's like ridiculously huge damage. It's like double than the damage of a triple sword, which is the two-handed weapon with the most base damage in the whole game. Um, and then it only gets even higher the more you train unarmed combat. Yikes, that's a bit of a bad hook from the swamp worm. I got put into melee range of two Hydras. Fortunately, I have like 300 HP, so even if they did deal like 100 damage, it was not that much of an issue. I think I want to go back to the Amulet of Regen. Mm, it is in Nork 1. Let's go for it. Yeah, I don't think I care too much about mana regen anymore. Oh, let me drop the mana regen amulets. I have 8 scrolls of enchant weapon. Let's make that 0. This character really doesn't care about that. Brand weapon and summoning. Okay, I guess we can also drop brand weapon. Not even carrying any items that I could brand. Okay, now I have regen in dragon form. Probably should get rid of the Ring of Slay -5. Not too much of a fan of it. Yeah, the resistances take a bit of a dive, but I also gain 1 point of willpower, which is pretty good, and 5 slaying, which is also really fantastic. So swamp, right? I got immediately marked. Now I want to get out. Dragon form so I don't get slowed by the water. I mean, the Goliath frog is still gonna reach me, but yeah, I'm pretty sure casting Dragon Form just makes the Goliath frog get in less attacks. Or I guess I could have one-shot it with Manifold Assault in the first place. Wow, I can't believe that I got this so early in the game. I don't think it's worth rushing because it costs quite a bit of experience to get to 15 transmutations, 10 translocations, and then you can train those and you can get to them relatively early in the game, but how are you killing things if you're training transmutations and translocations from like turn 1? That's what makes it kind of complicated to go for this. You need to be able to kill things well enough that you can afford to put some experience points into those things that don't kill things so well. I guess it helps if you have an armed combat, but unarmed combat is not good early on. Base damage is super low, cannot enchant your hands. It is only until you start getting forms and crazy things like that that unarmed combat gets pretty exciting. Or I guess you can be a troll as well. If you're a troll or a demon spawn with claws, unarmed combat is definitely quite good. Okay. That either was getting pretty dangerous. It got like 3 hits and I failed to finish it off. I was just getting bad damage rolls for once. I guess that compensates for all the monsters that I one-shot with 0 unarmed combat in dragon form. You know, sometimes I have issues with Swamp. This is not one of those characters. This character is just like steamrolling through Swamp. Everything is dying so fast. The power of dragon form. I guess I am also an ogre. That is kind of important because even with dragon form, most characters wouldn't have 300 HP casting dragon form at experience level 20. Perks from playing what's probably one of the best species in the game. And it also compensates for the fact that the early game was so difficult with this character. I remember having a really bad time yesterday with this character. It was like hard. The early game was miserable. Like whenever we fought whites with this character in the early game, like I had to pillar dance single whites. Like I was unable to take on the entire band at the same time, and a single white was dangerous enough that it could kill me. Like I couldn't take it on an honest fight. But we have come a long way since then. Unfortunately, my defenses are still kind of the same. But yeah, we got the rune. That's rune number 2. Elf? I don't have resistance to electricity unless I put on that awful ring. And then I lose willpower. I can also take off the ring of slaying, but then I have -5 slaying equipped, and that's like super duper bad. Like, I actually don't want that. Maybe a row of willpower. Yeah, a row of willpower is the solution here. I lose no armor class from using row of willpower. My spells even get better because I was using Troll Letter with no training in armor. Gain 1 point of evasion, and now I can take this ring of willpower off and put on this ring of bad things, but resistance to electricity. Yeah, let's go do elf then. I have toxic radiance. Elf shouldn't be difficult. I like this bolt. It like gives you the choice. Do you want to fight 2 sorcerers at the same time, or 2 pyromancers and 2 zephyrmancers? And of course, the safe choice is the pyromancers and the zephyrmancers. Like, those are significantly less dangerous than the sorcerers. It should be 1 sorcerer for it to be kind of not a no-brainer. As it is right now, I think it is a no-brainer, and you should never fight the 2 sorcerers. Yeah, 2 sorcerers can get out of hand. Probably I should quiver Toxic Radiance. That doesn't sound like a terrible idea. Yeah, I'm gonna cast it a lot in this place. Ah, look at that flail. That is one good flail. And it is even better because it is going to replace my whip, actually. I can wield that flail for willpower and then replace the ring that I'm using for willpower with a ring of 6 intelligence, and that's just like better. It might not happen immediately, but it's probably going to happen. Very likely thing to happen. Okay. I wonder what was on the other side of that sorcerer bolt. I might open it on the way back up, but I know that I want to postpone it as much as I can. Okay, that's 16.2 unarmed combat. Now, what should we train for? I think I already got all that I need to win the game. Ah, yeah, Orb of Destruction. Orb of Destruction might not be a terrible thing to get. The ogre's still alive. Yeah, you will find that I win characters more than I kill them. Lately, I've been on a very hot streak. Like, I just lost the streak of 6 wins in a row. But it's more often than not like win, die, win, win, die, win, die, 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 win, 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 win. Somewhere along those lines. Like, sometimes I have bad streaks, but more often than not, I either have a good streak or it's like very well balanced. Um, does Dragon Form give you extra willpower? It does not. The only thing that it gives you is 2 pips of fire resistance, weakness to cold, poison resistance, obviously all the HP, and it sets your armor class to 16, and your evasion gets nuked. That's pretty much what Dragon Form does. The extra willpower that I have comes from. Oh yeah, now I know why you mentioned that, because you're wondering if I will not just be bait for Ancient Lich Paralysis if I take off the ring. That's a pretty good point. So I think I like the whip better now that I have become aware of that, or I have realized that. Mm, so I could train conjurations. Ah, yeah. I think it's more important for me to get like 15 invocations, so I can corrupt and do all the fun things that Lugonu allows me to do. Um, yeah, I'll probably go for Orb of Destruction indeed, but it is not going to be something that I rush. I am going to get the Lugonu thing, and then I'm gonna get Orb of Destruction, and then after that it's gonna be fighting, dodging, unarmed combat for the rest of the game. Intelligence? Oh, do I have See Invisible because of the antennae? Is that what they do? Or what else is giving me See Invisible? I do have See Invisible. Oh, because I have a hat of See Invisible. I wish antennae just gave you See Invisible instead of the thing that lets you see through walls. I think it would be nice if Tier 1 gave you See Invisible and Tier 2 let you see the monster through walls. Um, that would be nice because I feel like antennae gets in the way of auto travel a lot and stuff. Whenever you detect a monster through a wall, your thing gets stopped automatically, and that's kind of annoying. Probably should buy these potions. Yeah, and then like I have 4 mutation on that shop. That's a very nice thing to keep in mind if I end up getting malmutated later in the game again. Fingers crossed for that not happening. Okay, all of the elves die to toxic radiance. What is that? Some boomerangs? I don't think I care about boomerangs or javelins or throwables in general. Even large rocks, I don't think I'm gonna put them to much use now that the character is the way it is. My ranged is Manifold Assault and Toxic Radiance and Ignite Poison, and that's all I need for ranged. Oh, I one-shot Azrael with Manifold Assault. Yeah, I came to the conclusion that it was probably a good idea for me to start doing Manifold Assault in that position. What is that? One of Paralysis and Thin Rune Staff. I don't think I care about those things at all. We are not going to open that door then. Mm, yeah, I should probably drop this flail that I picked up. Pretty decent sky weapon for sure, but it is not something that you should go for if you're gonna constantly unwield it. War Axe of Distortion, not threatening at all to a Lugonu worshipper. I just went for the Irradiate, didn't get banished, nothing bad happened. We're doing quite well. Oh, I see a bunch of orcs ready to be immolated. Oh, look at that! Didn't even have to ignite poison for the chain reaction to begin. I feel like that went really well. That was a warlord band. Yeah, it was just an orc room with a warlord and an altar to Beok. So it was definitely the correct thing to do right there. I could have waited and done like only ignite, poison, toxic radiance, not necessarily in that order, in order to kill everything. But what I ended up doing, I feel was the correct thing to do, because it could have gotten kind of nasty. After all, my defenses are kind of trash. By the way, that is a hell of a weapon shop. Vampiric double sword. And if you don't want that, there's also a vampiric glaive. That is crazy. Vampiric double sword is like god tier weapon for almost any character. If I saw that on almost any character, I would switch because it is very good. Like it's a one-hander. It deals so much base damage. It's like the highest base damage available to a one-hander, tied with the Evening Star. And it is vampiric, and vampiric really takes advantage of single hits that do massive damage. So definitely a god tier weapon, but absolutely not what I want with this character. I already have these hands for damage reasons, or for damage in general. Let me get rid of these boomerangs. I actually don't want to pick them up again with this character. Mm, okay, let's get rid of flame. I don't want that. I'm leaning towards enchanting the storm skills, but I only have three. I'm going to wait until I find Ice Dragon skills, and I'm gonna put these three scrolls of enchant armor on Ice Dragon skills. Um, I am going to enchant those skills and use them for a treasure trove, not because I want to wear them. Let me drop Amnesia as well. Mm, Boon. Not doing anything that checks willpower, other than, I guess, banishment, but I haven't really put that into use, and I don't think I will. Like, straight up, I don't think it's gonna happen. When it comes to the potions, I'm gonna maybe drop Attraction. I can see it being mildly useful. If I run out of mana, but I'm still in dragon form, I can drink Attraction and just like one shot everything that comes close to me. So I'm not gonna drop them because of that. Maybe I'm going to drop Torment. Though I can see it being mildly useful. Like if I use Tree Form Torment, but no, I think if I use Tree Form is to avoid Torment um from a Cursed Toe or something along those lines. Not because I want to actively torment things myself. I thought that there were guaranteed launchers outside of the Hollow Blades because I had it happen like a bunch of games in a row, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Kind of a shame. I thought that was going to be the way for Rangers to get a rare weapon from Hollow Blades, a Fustibalus or a Triple Sword. Longbows are not nearly as rare to be worth like that. Yeah, you can get a longbow from just killing a Master Archer here or killing centaurs. Apparently, there are a lot of centaur bands in bolts nowadays, so you can definitely get a longbow much more easily than you can get a triple crossbow or a Fustibalus. Blade Master. Okay, we're gonna irradiate the Blade Master because we have already established that they are kind of dangerous. It's very hard for you to hit a Blade Master, and they hit really hard and really fast. So, yep. Guaranteed damage is pretty good against those guys. Nicola. I have resistance to electricity. I am not too afraid of Nicola. Still really dangerous. So I'm gonna go for the File of Flots to make Nicola not cast big, big damage on Nicola. Look at that. You maul Nicola. I think Nicola is like severely wounded, yeah. Okay. We should kill. Okay, that's fine. There we go. For a second it got kinda scary, but now we're good. And we got Orb of Destruction. It seems that we hadn't gotten the spell yet. It was probably in a shop, that's why I kept it in mind. Um, Chances are good that I am going to get it, because it is a pretty fantastic spell for Orbs of Fire. It's so good. Um, since it does such a massive amount of damage and it doesn't check evasion, it is very easy for you to hit an Orb of Fire with Orb of Destruction, and maybe like even go as far as to shot the Orb of Fire with Orb of Destruction. Theoretically, you can one shot with enough spell power, but more likely than that, like it's very unlikely. That's what I'm trying to say. I kind of want to drop this whip so I can start punching things without going into dragon form. Of course, dragon form greatly speeds up the process of me killing things, but I also do not need dragon form to kill like the weak monsters. Like for example, this demonologist could die from not dragon form. Kidoki, have I found a bolt? Yeah, because I am in Elf 3. It's funny that I've been exploring so much of Elf 3 and I still have not found the bolt. I wonder what we are gonna get here. This character is much more receptive to getting good items because I don't have that many crazy good items except for that one ring that I'm using, like the one that gives me 5 slaying. Oh man, the one shots are quite satisfying. Toxic radiance, ignite poison, toxic radiance, ignite poison. Yeah, that is probably a bit more value than using Manifold Assault because Toxic Radiance just hits everything and doesn't check evasion and stuff. Manifold Assault does check evasion and it doesn't hit everything. This is looking like an immolation fight, so we are gonna do precisely that. Immolation and then Ignite Poison. Oh, I don't have mana. I guess I'm gonna wait then. I can also do my breath weapon, being a dragon. I've done it a couple of times. Haven't mentioned it, but whenever you're in dragon form, you get a breath weapon. And yeah, all that it takes is a little bit of a push for me to wipe the screen, thanks to the glory of immolation. Yep, I am a fan of immolation. It's really one of my favorite scrolls. I feel like it goes underused because people get scared. Maybe people use it early in the game and like have a bad experience with immolation where they kill themselves because they read it while it is unidentified and like they explode themselves like that. But later on in the game, and of course, if you're not surrounded by monsters, immolation is so powerful. Kidoki. Pretty good. So far, so good. 7 identify. I think I should drop them now. Uh, yeah, I think I already identified all that I wanted to identify. The mouse saved you your last run. It's also really OP for dealing with slime. In later versions, it got nerfed for that particular purpose. I love doing the Torment Immolation strategy on slime. Like, I always went for slime as a rune 3 because that was just so powerful. Unfortunately, that is no longer the case. Now I feel like it's pretty dangerous to go for Torment Immolation because you're tormenting yourself, and after you make everything explode, you still have monsters left, most noticeably rock slimes, which are fast, have a bunch of armor class, 2 pips of fire resistance, hit really hard, and push you away from the stairs. Like, rock slimes are probably the most dangerous thing in slime, and they're like a new monster. I think of rock slimes as like the apex predator of slime. I would even go as far as to say that they are more dangerous than acid blobs and azure jellies because they push you away from the stairs. Acid blobs and azure jellies don't do that. You can always escape them if you're standing on the stairs. Worst case scenario, you pull 1 or 2 of them up with you, or you die, I guess. Really worst case scenario. But with rock slimes, worst case scenario is that you get pushed away from the stairs and then you're stuck in a super awkward situation. There was a dagger that was a straight upgrade from your whip. Yeah, this is why I do this every time that I finish doing this. And yeah, that I see the dagger. Let's go pick it up. Oh, that is not it. Uh, capital Q it is. Yeah, fire resistance. Twitch.tv/9settler. By the way, Cody, hello. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope that you have been enjoying the stream so far. Let's see what else do we have here. Tin of Tremorstones. Do I already have that? I don't. Maybe I should pick it up. But on the other hand, even though I love Tin of Tremorstones, this is not the kind of character to be using that. -2 evocations. I need to train on armed combat and fighting. Nah, I'm not gonna get any evocations. Um, yeah, in fact, I should probably also drop the Phantom Mirror because I'm not gonna use it. The only experience evocable that I care about is the File of Lots because it waterlocks people. With 0 evocations, the warlock doesn't last long enough. When I used it against Nicola, it lasted for like 4 turns. You stop by every time you stream. You just probably don't know your Discord name. I indeed do not know your Discord name. But yeah, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I see that that was your first time chatting too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mm, mhm. So we are done with this. I think now it's time for me to go do like Bolts 5 or something. Maybe. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, let me drop that wizardry. I'm not gonna use that. I could use wizardry plus storm scales, but it's not good enough considering that half of the time those storm scales are gonna get melded into dragon form. Oh, you're Death Boy 123. I see. Yeah, now I know who you are. All right. Well, I hope that you're enjoying the show. Um, you normally lurk. You figured you'd say stuff this time. I appreciate that. Thank you for constantly lurking, I guess. We are going to go do Bolts 5. Nah, you know what I'm going to do before Bolts 5? I'm going to do some depths. Because I can get Ice Dragon skills from doing depths. And if I do, I can go into the Treasure Trove, and that's pretty good. Okay, Etin within melee range. We're probably gonna one-shot it. We don't one-shot the Etin. What's gonna happen to us? I'm not gonna die because I have 300 HP, but I wonder how much I'm gonna lose. 65. Seems about right. And the bulk of the damage, actually the entirety of the damage came from the Etin. I guess it's par for the curse. Okay, we kill the Etin with that. Oh, you're hasted with distortion. Well, if I get banished, which is not a guarantee. Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, I was just about to say that I have Lugonu, so I can just get out of the Abyss for free. But that is a pretty sick weapon. Plus 2 Demon Blade of Distortion. If I cared about weapons at all, that would be something to rebrand if I hadn't already found the double sword, the vampiric double sword. That is indeed a crazy good weapon. And yet again, we encounter ourselves in a very awkward entrance to depths where you are surrounded by monsters. I hate those kinds of entrances to depths. It's like really hard to crack open because you only have one set of stairs. So you can either stair dance a couple of times and kill everything, or you teleport. And then if you teleport, you are trapped in the level. It's like Bolts 5 in a sense. That is like the same reason why I don't like doing Bolts 5 that much. Mm-hmm. Refresh Dragon Form. Wow. I even have resistance to electricity. But I guess it's 4 Cyan very ugly things. It's understandable that they deal so much damage. I also have 7 evasion. It's kind of hard not to take damage in those situations or in those conditions. Okay, but we end up killing everything. Shoutouts to the massive HP pool that I have. Taking 200 HP damage in a single fight, no big deal, because we have 327. Okie dokie. Yeah, Manifold Assault also did the job quite well there. Mm-hmm. And we killed everything. This character is really powerful. Yeah, as I mentioned when I got the spells, I already have everything that I need to win the game with Manifold Assault on Dragon form. It's just the fact that taking or getting to the point where I can cast Manifold Assault on Dragon form takes a bit of time. It's not something that you can pick up and immediately use as soon as you find it, like a great one-handed weapon. If I had found a great one-handed weapon, I probably would have been a melee character until I found Toxic Radiance and Ignite Poison. Then I would have probably turned into a bit of a hybrid. Or rather, I would have been a melee character that just happens to have Toxic Radiance and Ignite Poison. But yeah, the character didn't go that way. We found amazing spells before finding amazing weapons, so we turned into a bit of a spellcaster. And then we turned into a dragon form, Manifold Assault character. I hope that this Ice Dragons drops the scales. Tragic, didn't drop them. Storm scales, steam scales, and swamp scales. Oh, shaft. I have 4 magic mapping. Let's make that 3. And that seems like a pain of a level. Do I have digging? I do have digging. 18 charges. I feel rich when it comes to the digging. Okie dokie, let's get out of here. No, don't do that. Okay, we were actually done with the level. It's funny that you get shafted and then you come back to the level, but there's nothing left for you to kill. Okay, so now Orb of Destruction. 15. 15 is enough for Orb of Destruction. It also increases the power of my Irradiate a bit, even though I haven't really been using Irradiate that much. Okay. Yeah, whenever there is one Spark Wasp, there's gonna be more than one. Unfortunately, I have resistance to electricity, so they don't deal that much damage. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't do this bolt until later. Yeah, I should probably clear the entirety of the level before doing that bolt. Oh, something opened the door. I don't wanna, or do I? I better get rid of everyone now that they're still like here. I can do immolation and get rid of them like that. 240 HP. Oh, because I got flailed. I got flayed by the flayed ghost. It's fine. I can kill it very easily by just like using breath weapon in its general direction. The explosions will kill it if there's any explosions because these things have a lot of HP. Yeah. Mm. Toxic Radiance. If I had any one effect, if I had an effect that hit everything on the screen right now, it would be so good, like ignition or refrigeration. But it's not that's not the route that we took. Route? I actually don't know. I think it's route. Ignite. Yeah, Ignite Poison was something that I considered, but I didn't think that it was going to kill anything to cause an explosion. Um, I ended up going for Manifold Assault, and we happened to hit something that died. Yeah. And now the chain reaction is beginning. We gained back the HP from Flail, so we already killed the Flayed Ghost. And everything else is dying because nothing there was resistant to fire, I think. Or not resistant enough at the very least. Yep. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. You regain 68 HP. Feels like Maclef, except that I'm not Maclef. I just killed a monster that stole my HP for a bit. Yeah, I am very glad that I decided to do that right now, because if I had waited, those monsters would have wandered outside of this bolt, and killing them all one by one would have been more awkward than what I ended up doing. Okay. You know, the Frost Giant makes me slightly nervous because I'm weak to cold. But being weak to cold with 340 HP is like not having resistance with my normal amount of HP. If it makes me gain 50% more HP and I take 50% more damage, you know what I mean. The HP gain like compensates the damage increase. Of course, you still shouldn't like just disregard monsters that hit you with cold damage if you have weakness to cold, no matter how much HP you have, because doing that will get you killed really fast. Can you rename your unarmed form weapon with your Twitch? I cannot. You cannot inscribe your hands. It is a bit of a shame. Just as you can't brand them, you also can't inscribe them. I would love to, for obvious reasons, but I can't. Feature request. Kidoki. I'm the real fire dragon. Those fake fire dragons that don't deal any melee damage are like... They don't even compare to my might. Oh, you hear a loud Sot, so there's that Etin. Okay, the Etin is fine. Not afraid of it at all. In fact, it got one shot by Manifold Assault the turn after. I love Manifold Assault, it's so good. Knuckle tattoos. Yeah. Whenever someone mentions like a tattoo, the first thing that comes to mind is that picture of a person who got a tattoo that says no regrets, but like written wrong with like it was no regrets like this, like that. Imagine getting a tattoo that says like no regrets like that. Imagine. Oh man. I am a bit like it's a pet peeve of mine, but I'm not too into permanent body modification like tattoos. So I would probably never get one. It would have to be like a significant, like a very significant thing for me to want to get a tattoo, like a friend dying or something. Fortunately, I haven't had that happen, I have to say. I have had family members dying, but friends, not that I can think of. In fact, none, now that I think about it. I've never heard of one of my friends dying. I'm very glad for that. Florida Ogre arrested for casting dragon form during a wedding. Yeah, or storm form, but I guess dragon form is more correct for this character. Okay, we can just fly through and kill everything. I thought that this bolt had loot. I feel scammed. It doesn't have loot. It has an entrance to the abyss. Oh man, it's nice to take 50 damage and be like, oh yeah, whatever, 50 damage. It's like nothing. Okay, you're actually kinda scary. I think I can't waterlog you, and you have Crystal Spear, and I have 7 evasion in dragon form, so I have to respect that. But I do have Scrolls of Silence, 3 of them, and I think it's very well worth it to use one of them against Jody. So we're gonna silence, and now you cannot vampiric drain. You can bite to drain health from the living. That's fine. You're gonna die in like 3 turns, I think. Ooh, oh, ooh, it got scary. Jody dealt 170 damage with melee. I guess it's kind of understandable because Jody is swinging a purple greatsword. It's like it's not like Jody is like a joke in melee. It's just that his spells are usually significantly more dangerous. Usually. Oh, I probably shouldn't be fighting white very ugly things in dragon form. I'm gonna end the transformation. Toxic gradients, toxic gradients, toxic gradients. Oh, I got confused. Why did I get confused? Excuse me? Mass confusion 7%? Well, I guess it's 7%. It's bound to happen. Yeah. Oh, I have a new message in tiles. Let's take a look at it. Interact. Let's click here. Hello. Oh, I wonder if that person is still watching. Okay. Fortunately, it happened to be one person that I know is in the Roguelikes Discord, so I just pinged them. Extremely poisoned, you love to see it. I'd killed about around half of the enemies that I'm fighting against, but I'm gonna cast it again. Okay. Now I only have one one white very ugly thing. We can kill it, and then we can cast Dragon Form to get rid of the rest of these guys. Etin. Easy kill. Didn't even touch me. Another Etin. Maybe I should quiver. Maybe I should quiver Poisonous Vapors now. Oh. Alright, at this point I don't have much else to say about the character other than, it is a pretty strong character now. But any character that gets to the point where they can cast Manifold Assault and Dragon Form will get powerful. And I think the way I skilled that was absolutely the correct way to do it. First, go for Dragon Form because Dragon Form is pretty good even without any unarmed combat training. And then after that, go for Manifold Assault because it is still a level 5 spell that for 5 mana has a chance to deal crazy damage to up to I don't know, around 4 things. I think that's the maximum amount of monsters that you can hit with Manifold Assault. Many visible monsters. It doesn't say how many. At high power, it can be used to strike more enemies at once. Doesn't say, but I think it's between 2 and 4. What? How does that guy have so much armor class? Immune to poison, fire, cold, negative energy, and torment. And resistant to electricity, steam, and acid. Oh yeah, that's definitely a statue form ghost. Yeah, if you really think about it, how else would a deep elf get those defenses? It's gotta be a dragon form ghost. We are gonna leave it alone, of course. I don't have anything. Well, I guess I could kill it, but it has Iron Shot, and its Iron Shot deals more damage than Jori's Crystal Spear. While this guy also has a fair amount of armor class, so makes me kind of nervous. Iron Dragon. Nice to see someone named after some Hindu mountain range. Kush? Is that Kush? Huh, I see. He's no longer in chat? The guy? Ah, I see. It's fine. Okay. I was a bit concerned about using Dragon Form against this Iron Dragon because it has 3 dice of 30. 3 dice of 30 metal splinters. It checks armor class 3 times, but then I only have 20 armor class. If I get unlucky, it could get a pretty damaging roll. And it is like kinda damaging as well. It is not something that I can kill in like 2 turns because it has a bunch of armor class. It doesn't have that much HP surprisingly, but it definitely has a million armor class. I don't want to have anything to do with that floating eye. I also don't know if I can one-shot it. It has around 16 HP. Let's try Ice Blast. No training Ice Blast. Okay, that's fine. It was a shapeshifter, and it shifted away from being one of the most dangerous things in the whole game. Have I still not found Ice Dragon Scales? Oh, I haven't. That Titan hurts quite a bit. Okay, Gold Dragon Scales first attempt, but it's not what we want with this character. Sometimes you kill 10 Golden Dragons and you don't get scales, but the character that doesn't want them gets them immediately. Hey, look at that! That's a pretty nice thing to find. Don't mind if I put it on. Or should I put it on? I don't know. Probably not. So here's the thing. I cannot really take off the ring of resistance to electricity because I need that. Not having that means that everything that casts things electricity related really hurts. And since I've already gone a long way wearing that ring, I don't think I can take it off until I find a replacement for the resistance to electricity. As I have mentioned before, I really want to. Oh, that's not so terrible. I am not too afraid of this guy. It only hits for 50, and I have 350. Will that ring let you wear Storm Scale since it has Wizardry? I'm pretty sure it will. If I really wanted to wear the Storm Scales, I would train armor. I don't really care too much about the Storm Scales because I pretty much always am in dragon form, so they get melded. That would mean training a lot for something that is pretty much not gonna see any use. If any, I should train some dodging so I can dodge at least a little bit in dragon form. Like getting 12 dodging or 12 evasion in dragon form would be pretty decent, I think. Um, mm, I am about to hit the 15 conjurations that I wanted. I'm also gonna get 15 spellcasting. And we should learn Orb of Destruction. Where is it? Oh, I guess it's not there because I can actually cast it. Excuse me? Do I already know a bit? Or what's going on? I... What is going on? Huh. I searched for Orb of, and it didn't appear. Well, it doesn't matter. Um, Normally I would have Orb of Destruction on capital D because destruction. I guess I'm gonna put it on capital O because Orb. That makes sense. I guess we're gonna do Depths 4. Oh, it's this one. Have I still not found my... Oh man, I have Fire, Gold, Shadow, Steam, Swamp, and Storm scales, but no Ice Dragon scales, which are the ones that I want. Man, that's tragic. I'm gonna try to do this as much as I can, but this one is not the easiest depths for. Yeah, these level white bolts can get pretty nasty. I know that that at least one of these rooms has a caustic strike band. I've gotten a caustic strike band in this bolt before, and it has come pretty close to killing me. While this character does have resistance to corrosion, it doesn't have enough defenses for it to reliably be able to kill caustic strikes. I mean, the damage output that they have is pretty crazy. Orb of Destruction. Ah, it didn't kill. That sucks. Okay, we're gonna walk away from that guy. I am a dragon. I should probably just kill it. But then again, it makes me kind of nervous to work towards it because there were more monsters supporting it. Who's not in chat anymore? The person who sent a chat, MC Saucy Nugget or Max Saucy Nugget. I don't know how you pronounce that. Both could be viable. But yeah, that's as I mentioned earlier on the stream, that's like one of the worst things of playing console. That sometimes people jump into the chat in tiles, and I just don't see it because in console you don't have that. You can send messages to people in console if you're expectating in console, but if a person in tiles sends a message to someone in console, they will never see it unless they do what I'm currently doing and expectate themselves in tiles. That's the only way for them to know. Or I guess they can also press this, and then you can see here that there's a message, hello. Okay, that went well. I got a bit nervous there, but we killed everything. It's just that this character is not well suited for extended fights against multiple enemies because it has trash defenses. It wants quick fights against single enemies, or if it absolutely has to deal with bands, at least have the band members come one at a time, like these ugly things. I really wish I could unwield my weapon, as I mentioned before. Hey, Mac Saucy Nugget, thank you for following. I appreciate it a lot. Hello. Yeah, I was just talking about how being a console player, you just don't get to see the messages in tiles um, unless you spectate yourself, which is what I do in order to be able to stream. That's how I sometimes notice the chat messages, but it's not something that happens very often. Whenever I get a person in chat, I always tell them to jump onto the stream. That's not a good teleport. Being a dragon next to a 2 simulacrum, yeah, no, we're doing other things here. That is not good. I am leaning towards bending space or blinking. I guess I can also blink and it doesn't cost HP. Gonna blink. Pretty good blink. Landed me not next to anything. Now I could cancel my dragon form and have some cold resistance, which I think I'm gonna do. And then we're gonna re-teleport. Ouch. 74 with cold resistance. And the Eten didn't even hit me. I blocked the Eten and it barely missed me. Man, that is insane. The damage output of these things is pretty ridiculous. Keep in mind that before the teleport I was at full HP, so this is not a good place to be in. Fingers crossed for the teleport triggering soon. I'm gonna drink a heal wounds for good luck because it barely does anything, so it's more for good luck than anything else. Okay, I blink to not be within melee range of everyone, and I immediately teleported, so that's good. This is much better. Teleport out or go into Abyss. Yeah, we went for the teleport, and it worked out quite well, it seems. Now, for this Frost Giant, we're gonna irradiate it a couple of times. And then if I was at full HP, I wouldn't mind going into Dragon form against the Golden Dragon, because even though it has Bolt of Cold, it also has other spells to dilute its spell pool. It's not really spells, but you know what I mean. Ability pool, I guess. And I would kill you in like 3 actions with Dragon form, but being at 113 HP, I am not too confident on that. I can go to the Abyss now because after I trained unarmed combat to 16.2, the next thing I did was getting 15 invocations, and then I got conjurations, and then I got 15 spellcasting. Well, we're about to get that, and now I'm going to train fighting and dodging and unarmed combat for the rest of the game. Yeah, now I have access to going to the Abyss. That is like an escape option if I need it. I guess I can also corrupt, but I would rather not corrupt. I am at Great Contamination, so I cannot continue doing Irradiate. What if I unwield my weapon and punch the Golden Dragon? It's working. It could have been better if I was in Dragon form, but it was not so bad. Oh man, that is super bad. Okay, we're gonna drink cancellation here. I cannot be marked. I got marked and I was marked for like 2 turns. So chances are good that monsters will come towards me. I just hope that it's not enough monsters to like really put me in a bad situation. Thinking about reading summoning. Yeah, that gives me a couple of meat shields to like retreat and drink ambrosia to heal. Never mind. I am in a bad spot. I'm gonna re-teleport again. Okay, my summons immediately get abjured. Airstrike for 14. Let's drink heal wounds. You're playing on console and streaming, Taos? That is exactly what I am doing. I've been playing console for more than 10 years. All the games that I have ever completed of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup have been in console. I have never completed a game in Taos, but in the near future, I'm actually gonna stream a whole run in Tiles. A very generous sponsor of the stream wanted me to do that, so I took up the offer and we're gonna be doing it, and it's gonna be exciting. Yeah, I have never done it, so it will be a new experience, and I'm pretty sure it will make for very good entertainment. Mm, okay, great teleport. I have a 0 out of 0 win rate in tiles. Yeah, definitely. And maybe it will become a 100% win rate in tiles. Who knows? I hope that it does. Why not play on tiles? I'm just used to console. When I started playing, there was no web tiles. And then it started being a thing, but the tiles were horrendous. Um, and by then, I already have grown accustomed to playing console. Um, so yeah, I just never went to web tiles. I know that there's like console mode in web tiles, but it is kind of ugly compared to using an actual console. Um, Yikes, big damage from the Iron Troll. I am not a fan of this level. I need to get out. I am not comfortable in this level anymore. Magic mapping. Yeah, I suspected there would be some stairs over there. So I'm gonna try to win this fight and then get out, pretty much. Something hits you but does no damage. I wonder what it is. I actually have no idea. And if I was not in dragon form, I would be able to see invisible, but I really don't know what this is. Shadow Wraith? That's the only thing that I can think of, because I don't think he's a Lorosiproca. I don't think this guy summoned Greater Demon. It's not a Lorosiproca. Ghost Moth? I don't think it is not a Lich because it hit me. If it had been a Lich, it would have touched me. So I know it is not a Lich. Could be an unseen thing. I don't think it will be an unseen horror because we are in the final level of depths, so that's like too weak to generate here. I think it's a shadow wraith. I'm pretty sure it is a shadow wraith, so it can slow me if it is. I have no idea. Hey, Eric the Barbaric, thank you for following. I appreciate it. I hope that you have enjoyed what you have seen so far. Okay, the Lich makes me nervous. Mm, I think they are immune to magic, so yeah, you can't banish them. Um, I don't have Holy Word. It's surprising that I have gone through so long without finding Holy Word. Maybe Corrupt here wouldn't be such a bad idea, or I guess it would be good if I had mana. I guess I can always drink a potion of mana and then cast Holy Word. That is not good. That can deal a lot of damage. Blink, pretty good. Um, Brilliance Manifold Assault is what I'm gonna do. Yeah, Brilliance makes me spend less mana on Manifold Assault. So it gives me double mana pretty much, so I can cast more Manifold Assault. And it turned out to be the correct choice because I ended up using a lot of mana casting Manifold Assault. If I had not used Brilliance, it wouldn't have been enough mana. Um, all right, pretty good. What are these invisible monsters? There's like so many of them. And I think they're shadow raids, but I am a bit surprised that I didn't get slowed if they were indeed shadow raids. And transformation, because that thing can one-shot me. Irradiate. Walk away. Oh man, I'm just like not getting a rest. Ignite poison. Etin Simulacrum should die next turn. There we go. I can punch the Draconian, but I'm not too confident on that. It is a monk after all. Like, it is no stranger to the art of punching monsters in the face. I'm gonna continue Pillar Dancing. Man, Pillar Dancing in Depths 4, that's not something that you see very often. But I'm waiting for mana here. Now that I have mana for Dragon Form, we're gonna go into Dragon Form, and it dies really fast. Okay, now let me rest to full HP, please, so I can get out of here. I'm really not able to catch a break. And I'm not even making that much noise. Oh, look at that one shot with the breath weapon. Ouch. It's fine. Do I kill it in return? I think I do. We did kill it in return. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, now can I still more invisible monsters. I don't know where it is. And it was indeed a shadow wraith. I told you. I told you that it was a shadow wraith. But yeah, I am very surprised that it never slowed me. If I had been slowed by a shadow wraith during that fight, like things would have been so bad. Um, okay. I'm gonna try to make a run for it to the stairs because I don't think I will have the chance to rest to full HP in this accursed level. Oof, that was painful. I don't think I will be back in that level for a while. I think I'm gonna do Crypt now. Mm, I used to never do Crypt, but after the nerf to experience, I feel like by the time I have to go do Sot, I am like very low level with most of my characters. So I'm gonna do Crypt with this Ogre. Even do Ogres level up super fast, and therefore are one of the very few species who don't particularly need to do Crypt. I just don't feel powerful enough just yet. I am, or rather, what I should say is that I am powerful, but I'm also kind of fragile, and my power doesn't really offset the fragility that comes associated with being an ogre, being in dragon form so much. I want to find a good ring that gives me cold resistance, so I am not weak to cold in dragon form. Mm, I'm terrified of the Eidolon. Better reset that. 14% chance to paralyze. Let's make that 0%, right? With the Ring of the Mage. Oh, that's not the ring that I wanted to remove. I wanted to remove the other one. There is an inscription that you can put on rings to make them automatically not get removed, but I don't remember what it is. I only remember that someone came in here like a year ago and told me the inscription, and then I immediately forgot it. I used it on like one character and then I forgot it. But anyway, I am going to drop the Ring of Willpower because the Ring of the Mage is literally the Ring of Willpower, except that it is significantly better. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be a lot of monsters that shoot me with electricity here, so we can certainly walk around with. Um, that's kinda good. Oh, well, I should say it's really good, but I don't know if it's good enough. I mean, it would be if I had more dexterity. Unfortunately, I only have 9. So 9 minus 5 means get paralyzed by a killer clown pie and die. That's what it means. So I am not able to put that ring on, much to my dismay. That's an abyss themed bolt that I could break open with corrupt myself. Bloodstained Executioner Sax. I am curious. Obviously, I'm not gonna use it, but okay. Let's do that right now. Thank you for that, Shaper. Let's see. Capital R? I don't think it's capital R. Oh, it might be capital R. Yeah. There we go. Don't remove. I was going to go into that vault until I saw the Hell Sentinel, and I was like, nah, I don't think I want to go in after all. Um, okay, I lost 40 HP from Drain. Of course, the amount of HP that you lose from Drain gets scaled whenever you gain more HP from forms. So it's not really 40 HP. It's more like 20 something. Terabot is a real hero here. Yeah. I miss the days where the community was able to freely edit Cerebot or Cerebot. Back when it was an IRC bot in IRC, you were just able to add and remove and change entries, and it was a very nice period of time where no one I ever saw abused it or like griefed the community by deleting entries or like adding misleading information that was not obviously intended to be a joke. I wish we had that on Discord right now, but that function hasn't been added at least. Or maybe the developer of Setup just doesn't care about ever adding that function. I am not too much of a fan of not being able to edit things from the Discord. Mm, keeping that database updated was a much easier thing to do when the whole community contributed on that. Like I remember just like hanging out on IRC and seeing people update random entries as they came across outdated info. But it's not a thing that happens anymore. Mm, so what was I going to quiver? Oh yeah, Manifold Assault. So I can just mash Manifold Assault whenever I am in dragon form. Halved willpower. Still 2 pips of willpower. Courtesy of the Ring of the Mage. You love to see it. Okay. It's whenever I am in dragon form, I feel like it's just throwing monsters into the blender. It feels like with that Minotaur I played the other day with the triple sword, Vorpal triple sword. I think it's what I had, and I also had 11 slaying. I think. Yeah, that character was so good. It was fragile. In fact, that character and this character share a lot of similarities in the sense that they dealt incredible melee damage, but they were also kind of fragile. Um, and they also had a thing that they could do to gain more HP. In case of that Minotaur, it was Berserking because it had the Necklace of Bloodlust. In case of this character, it is a much more controlled and safe way to gain HP in the form of dragon form. Annoying Revenant, but we got it killed. I should not pick up Acrobat ever again. I am even debating putting it on my exclude list permanently, like going to my RC file and making it so that I never pick up amulets of Acrobat. People love them. I do not love them that much. I tend to not use them unless I literally don't have any other option. you like how I went into dragon form to kill a rat zombie? It's just like I already have it ingrained in my mind. It's easier than unwielding and then re-wielding a weapon. Dragon form is kind of unwielding the weapon, but also gaining a bunch of damage in the process. So whenever I want to tap something, I will almost always cast dragon form first. For a rat zombie, though, I didn't even notice that it was a rat zombie. I didn't even know that rat zombies could still spawn in Crypt. I thought that Crypt had been de-jankified and all the zombies were like Etin zombie and Golden Dragon zombie and that kind of stuff, Juggernaut zombie. But apparently there is still some trash in here. Kidoki. Okay. You know, the best part about Manifold Assault Dragon form is that when you run out of mana, you're still in Dragon form, so you can still kill things very easily by pressing Tab and wait for your mana to come back up. And then, on the other hand, you're a very powerful melee character that actually has a use for its mana bar. So whenever you have mana, you have powerful ranged attacks. It's like a hybrid, but a very cool kind of hybrid. It's very different from casting charms like people did back in the day. Talking about Juggernaut, zombies and skeletons. Shouts to that one guy hitting me for 63 damage. It could have been way worse, by the way. I think it would have hit me. It could have hit me for more than 63. Fortunately, I was in dragon form, so 63 is like a joke. It needs to be above 100 or like 63 every turn for a couple of turns for it to truly be scary. Probably shouldn't be fighting above deep water. Yeah, even though as a dragon I can fly, it can always wear off and then, oh, I'm still flying. Something that I'm using gives me flying. Ah, the Ring of Slaying gives me flying. It's so good that I didn't even like keep in mind that it's a Ring of Flight by default. Um, to be completely fair, flying is not it's not a property that matters that much. Paralyze 0%, pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Okay, easy kill on the Dreadlich. Dread Leeches are much less scary than Ancient Leeches, in my opinion. Ancient Leeches can explode you with Crystal Spear. Dread Leeches need to summon things for them to be really dangerous. Like their big spell is Summon Greater Demon, and Summon Greater Demon is just not as scary as Crystal Spear is. They do get the better hex in the form of Paralyze. Ancient Leeches get Petrify instead. So I guess it's compensated by that. If Ancient Leeches got Paralyze and Crystal Spear, they would be leagues ahead the Dread Leeches. Kidoki. Ouch. Yeah, that qualifies as more than 100 damage in a single turn. And now that I'm not in a position where it can multi-sap me, I think I can continue tabbing. Yeah, it was just that those crystal bolts bounce on every wall, and they can deal cold or fire damage. And it just happened to deal cold damage that one time. I'm still a bit surprised that I have yet to find a good source of cold resistance. Yeah, if only this dagger had cold resistance. Well, it wouldn't really affect me that much. I have that kite shield of cold resistance, and I have a tower shield as well. I could also train for it. Probably should set a stop of this at like 12 or something. I don't care too much about getting evasion or dodging from that, because I know I won't be getting a lot. Not with 9 evasion, and it's a bit too late in the game to level up dexterity. Mm, yep, not gonna get a lot of evasion with 9 dexterity. That's what I wanted to say. That was it for Crypt. When it comes to jewelry, there is that ring of 3 pips of cold resistance. It turns out that that ring is really good for my current needs, but the thing is that it's a slay -3. Why do all these rings have to have minus slaying? It's like I got that amazing slay +5 ring super early in the game, but I just haven't been able to take advantage of the slay +5 because all of my other rings have slay or negative slaying, and yeah, that's not so good. Mm, yeah, I unfortunately do not have any good enough rings. After doing Elf and Crypt, I don't have good enough rings that I can wear to compensate for the weakness to cold in dragon form. Tragic. I guess we're gonna have to go do Bolts 5. I could also do Slime, but I am not a fan of doing Slime with a character with such bad defenses, and most importantly, weakness to cold. In the land of the Azure Jelly, mm, no Abyss? Oh, yeah, I could do Abyss with Lugonu. The thing is that you know what I always say, like, I don't care about the loot that much. This is a character that really does want a bit of extra power from the loot, and Bolts 5 will get me that. Yeah, Beast with Lugonu is like free. It's literally free. Uh, you go in, you go out if there's any trouble whatsoever, and then you can go in again. It's like rinse and repeat until you get the rune or like deal with deal with the danger if it's not too much danger. Um, but what I'm going to do is first go into Bolts 5, try to get um, the loot from here. Fingers crossed for dragon scales, ice dragon scales, so I can go into the trove. Maybe the trove has rings for me, and then I go get the abyss rune. You have actually splatted in Abyss 5 as as an Abyssal Knight. Well, your first mistake is going into Abyss 5. Abyss 5 is way too dangerous. I wouldn't go into Abyss 5 with any character, and this character is no exception. Whenever I go into Abyss, I usually go into Abyss 3, sometimes Abyss 4, almost never. This character might go into Abyss 4 because Lugonu is the the safest way to do Abyss. Abyss 5, things can go bad, like too fast. Um, so yeah, Bolt 5, here we go. No, wait, first Dragon form, then Haste, then Bolt 5. Immolation, Manifold Assault, Manifold Assault, Irradiate, Irradiate again, one more Irradiate, still not a yellow contamination. Did I get hit by anti-magic? Because my mana went down quite a bit. So much spam. Oh, never mind. It's just like the normal mana loss from casting Irradiate like 4 times in a row. The Octor is the thing that's making me a bit nervous. Maybe this is a time for me to drink attraction. I can't see myself attracting all of these guys. Doesn't sound so bad. Yeah, I also have like the Clouds of Fire, so that makes them take a bunch of damage. I took 52 damage. That is too much. I think I need to bail now, so I'm going to do precisely that. Manifold. Pretty good Manifold. Um, and now we shall rest to full HP. And now the entirety of the level is aggravated and going towards the middle. So what I'm going to do is re-teleport, go downstairs, and we immediately teleport. Pretty good. We landed in an amazing spot, I have to say. Yeah, only 2 enemies that we get rid of almost immediately. I don't need to read magic mapping. I know that I am right here, yeah. When I originally landed from the teleport, I didn't know where I was, but after exploring for after revealing a couple of tiles, now I know. Um, so yeah, you can just explore a bit to save yourself a magic mapping if you end up teleporting in Bolts 5. Okay. We should be fine now that we killed such a nice amount of monsters. Okay. That is not good. I need to cancel out of that. But it's my last cancellation. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. This level is kind of equivalent to Sot 5. So if you would get rid of Mark in Sot 5, you should also get rid of Mark if you're marked here. Or at least that's how I think of it. Hmm. I think it's a bit too late for Brilliance. I'm still gonna do it. I have a fair amount of them and more than I can buy. If you get to this point in the game, you don't get rid of Mark. That's the kind of thing that kills you. You should get rid of Mark. The more you progress on the game, the more dangerous Mark is because the more monsters are in the levels. Like specifically in Bolts 5. Bolts 5 is just full of monsters. It has so many dangerous monsters that being marked in Bolts 5, like you can see I was marked for like one turn and look at how many monsters we're still fighting. Um, I do not regret using my last cancellation to get rid of that. If I get petrified in Sot, it is what it is. Maybe I have more cancel. No, no more cancel, unfortunately. We're gonna drink some mana here, so I can continue manifolding and assaulting. You tend to pretty much only play gargoyle fighters, so you have like 60 armor class and 40 shields. But then you have like 150 HP. Look at my HP. It's more than double of that. You should try something that's not a gargoyle if you're a newcomer to Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Gargoyle is deceptively hard. Like the -2 HP is not good. Again, and now I cannot dispel it with cancellation. Tragically, well, that is not good. I'm gonna drink another brilliance because otherwise I might run out of mana in the upcoming fight. Yep, now I'm gonna have to hold my ground and wait for the mark to wear off on its own. Fingers crossed for not finding too many monsters. Yeah, eventually I'm gonna have to teleport away. I just hope that the mark wears off before I actually have to teleport. That's kind of like the big thing. Yikes. Low HP, no mana. Oh, that amulet is so good. Oh, that amulet is fantastic. I hope that I do not die because I want to wear that amulet. That amulet actually lets me take off the ring of -5 slaying that I'm currently using because I'm only using it for the resistance to electricity. I don't care too much about the armor class or the resistance to negative, and I definitely do not care about the poison resistance, whether I am on dragon form or not, because I already have another source of it. So I really want that amulet. It is a straight upgrade, a hard upgrade. It lets me wear the ring of the mage, so I have good willpower while in dragon form. We've had a 4 rune win with Castle. You were the guy who asked for help on the 15 rune wins, remember? 15 rune win with the Shining One and nearly two 15 rune wins that resulted in death because you didn't know how to get the final Pandemonium rune. Can you go to the Abyss to heal up some? Drop the Mark II? I definitely can do that. Like, I don't have the mana, but obviously I would just use mana. And yeah, that is the correct thing to do. Enter the Abyss. Bop, you take 99 damage. Alright, that's fine. And transformation. And now I press 5. We don't... Oh, I am still marked. I hope that I don't pull too many monsters. Am I Shoutitis? No, it doesn't seem to be the case. Dragon form. Manifold assault. That's good. An Iron Imp is a joke. We can tap it. Dealt 2 damage. Yeah, please let me heal. Abyss 1 shouldn't be hard. Yeah, Abyss ones can still have some messed up things. Fortunately, I have not touched distortion with this character because the more you banish, the more likely you are to encounter those. Like the if you banish dangerous monsters, like big monsters, you can find them in Abyss 1. I have had games where I go through a significant portion of the game with a weapon of distortion, and whenever I go into the abyss, I find all of those monsters waiting for me at the entrance of the abyss, and that is so difficult. Like orbs of fire and hell sentinels and fiends and like the really messed up things that normally would be here, like just chilling. It's like their beach house is here. Um, so yeah, I am very glad that it was not the case with this character. Mm, I kind of want to rest all my mana. I want to have full mana before I get out. And yeah, good thinking with the banishment. It was definitely the correct thing to do. I could even take this chance and just get the rune. But then I can just get out. I might just get out, actually. That explains why you had learning in the Abyss once. Yeah, whenever you banish really powerful monsters, you're likely to encounter them later in the Abyss. So just keep that in mind. I once banished Cerebov with an MLX Exile card, and when I went through the Abyss to get out of Pandemonium, I found Cerebov, and I had to fight Cerebov in the Abyss. I have the replay in my learned database entry. One of those entries has the replay. I hope that it was not in the dead server in Dobrasupa. If it was in Dobrasupa, it might not be obtainable anymore. But I know it happened. I was so young when that happened. I was like 17. I was it was a good moment. Yeah, I still remember that fight. It got pretty close. I could have died during that fight against Cerebov. Fortunately, I ended up winning. Okay. Come on, I'm trying to rest all my mana here. It's just that things are not letting me rest my mana. I'm already at full HP. I really am just waiting for my mana. Ah, the perils of not being with a god that gives you mana for killing things. Ah, okay, this is funny. Two gateways leading out of the abyss next to each other. And all that's happening is that I keep gaining bad mutations from these wretched stars. I maybe should just get out. I kinda also want to get rid of the Berserkites. Yeah, the double Star Cursed masses got kinda scary because they were two different Star Cursed masses. You know how one of them spawns and it has a bunch of HP and it splits into different ones? Two of them, the big ones with huge HP, spawned. So they were two different Star Cursed masses. Fortunately, it went well. I didn't get paralyzed. That could have gotten bad. But yeah, I think I want to get out now. 83 damage on my return to the dungeon in a single turn. I'm gonna re-teleport. I lose dragon form. Yeah, did it wear off just as I was getting out? Your transformation is almost over. Yeah, I guess that's my bad. It's fine. I think it fulfilled its purpose of diminishing the amount of damage that I took on re-entering the level. Think it's time to leave, no regen? Yeah. I do have regen, but no mana regen. Okay. Pretty good place to land after a teleport. So I think I can just rest to full HP and full mana now. Finally, after so long. Glaive of Darkness. Alright. Okay. Yet another set of gold scales, but where are the Ice Dragon scales? Hmm. Okay, let me grab the rune. Now I have 3 runes. I also have 10 evasion in dragon form. That's kind of nice. I got marked again. But this is like the best place for me to get marked. This bolt specifically is super good to get marked on because it's just like a bunch of corridors and corners. So I can manipulate the line of sight to see whatever I want to see and fight whatever I want to fight. And by the way, bodies went invisible. I'm pretty sure bodies is in a straight line. No? Or did I just miss bodies? Okay, bodies is next to me. I am going to irradiate until the annihilator dies. Gonna melee. Big damage. I'm gonna irradiate again to kill bodies. Doesn't kill bodies. Okay, one more. Now bodies is dead. Kill the Titan. And by the way, I know that, yeah, that was bodies. You can always check these to make sure that you killed bodies. It might be a spoilery thing and definitely not the intended function of this, but you can definitely use it to make sure that you killed a unique that was invisible or that just happened to die outside of your line of sight. What's your chance to banish? 14%. Huh. Do I have health? Ah, no, I'm not wearing the Ring of the Mage soon. Very soon I will have access to that. Okay. I think I want to use a Scroll of Fogu to prevent that guy from shooting at me. Pretty good. Yep, as I mentioned, this is probably one of the best places to get marked on. You can always use some piety to depart the abyss. Yeah, I definitely can. As I have been mentioning in this playthrough, the abyss is like my backyard with this character. It is really not dangerous, thanks to Lugonu. I still would prefer to not get banished. Um, but if I get banished, I can always just like regen and get out if things get too hairy in the abyss. Torinsky, thank you for the wraith. Thank you so much. How was your stream tonight? Yeah, hey, that's my new raid alert. That's the first time I see it. I like made it like a month ago. Man, it's such a good alert. I should maybe make it loop so that it happens twice. Thank you so much for the raid. Yeah, how are you doing? What were you playing? Playing some crawl? Mm, we are playing an Ogre Abyssal Knight because I realized that this account has almost has greateroneandwon. So I that means that I have won in my first attempt a combo with every background except for Abyssal Knight. Abyssal Knight took me like a couple of attempts to win when I played Formisid Abyssal Knight. So I started an Ogre Abyssal Knight and it was really hard in the early game, but now we're doing quite well. It was fantastic. You just finish your 15 runer cat attempt. Oh, I remember that you started that like a couple of weeks ago. It's good to hear that you actually won that. I don't think I would have the patience to do that. So props, big credit for that. I don't have the patience to play 15 rune cat. It's really miserable. Like, oh, you got smitten and tormented and damnation. Okay, now you have 3 HP. Good luck. And yeah, that's not my thing. As you can see, I like having HP. Yeah, 409 HP Ogre Dragon form with Manifold Assault. We got Manifold Assault and Dragon form early in the game, and I just decided to go for it. I also got access to Refrigeration and Ignition later on, but I decided to stick to the original plan, even though it may not have been the optimal thing to do. It's just that I have noticed a trend from for my characters to find those cool spells early on and me getting excited over them and then finding refrigeration and ignition and me being like, okay, I have to use the best thing. But no, not this time. You got very lucky, and it was your first time using Maxwell's instant kill. So strong. Did you ever use Absolute Zero? Because Maxwell's instant kill is Absolute Zero, but nerfed, but fair, I guess. You were at 1 HP at one point today, but you only lost 2 lives over the course of a playthrough, and you love it. Excited to play some ogres in the future. You're almost sorry you won a cat because next on the list was Ogre Abyssal Knight. You can always give it a try. I greatly recommend you to play Ogre Spellcaster. It doesn't necessarily have to be Ice Elementalist, but I do think Ice and Fire Elementalist are the easiest Ogres in 0.28. For 0.27, definitely go for Ice Elementalist because Fire Elementalist got massive buffs in Trunk, but if you're playing stable, you still don't have those. You never used Absolute Zero, so it was exciting to get the instant kills. Yeah, Absolute Zero was so ridiculously strong. Like, it was the kind of spell that you put on the quiver, and you just mashed on it, and everything died. And then you ran out of mana, and then you teleported, and then rinse and repeat. But yeah, we just got done with Bots 5. There we go. That is it. Now we have 3 runes, and I got a pretty good amulet from doing this. Amulet of Resistance to Electricity and Regen. Straight upgrade over something that I already had, so very happy to have found that amulet. That allows me also to drop this awful ring that I was using with -5 slaying. I was only using it because I also happen to have a ring that gives me 5 slaying. So they counteracted each other, but now I get the slaying without like not having the resistance to electricity, which was the sole reason why I was using that ring of the mage. And now when I cast dragon form, I have 4 pips of willpower, still weak to cold, much to my dismay, and we didn't really find anything to counteract that. But as long as we are careful around icy monsters, with 400 HP, even if I get hit for 100 in a single turn, it's not that big of an issue. Good to know you play stable, but you will definitely try out a spellcaster when you get to them in your great player attempts. You're going in order, right? Like all simple, all intermediate, or all advanced. It's gonna take you a while to get to the ogres, but if you're going with that order, then I guess that's cool. That's cool. I personally like since I have already won everything at least once. When I did that for this account, I went in my preferred order of easiest to hardest. So I started with like Minotaur, then Hill Orc, then like other things. But some that are in simple, I delayed, like Null and Gargoyle, because I don't like them that much. And some that are advanced, I did very early, like Formicid. I think Formicid was like my 3rd character in this account. Also, Demigod is like super powerful nowadays. Let's see, what other characters in advanced? I also like Barachi in advanced, but I can see them being kind of complicated. It is kind of luck based to be able to win a Barachi nowadays. You need to get a not so brutal early game, since you cannot run away from anything. if you have a situation in the early game where you have to run away and where you would be able to run away with any other species other than Barachi and Naga, you're probably going to die. You like my order? You do love gnolls personally? Yeah. When it comes to gnolls, you need to use everything that the game gives you. If you go in expecting like a specific plan of attack, you're gonna die. And when I started doing that with this account, I was not good enough, or like I was not used to the concept of null being like that. So I went in with a specific thing to do in mind, and I like pretty much didn't take advantage of being a null. And that's why I had such a bad time with null in the first place. But now I know better. So if I play the null, they're still not my favorite. But if I play the null, I think I could do relatively well, depending on what the floor god gives me, of course. I think spells are important for nulls. Anyway, Sot time. We're gonna do Sot 1 through 5. Have I not found? Oh, I didn't find Sot because the final level of Depths was awful. Yeah, I didn't complete that level. Still no ice scales? Still no ice scales. Tragic. You also think they're super strong paired with Ashen Sari. I have not played new Null or new Ashen Sari Null, but it's definitely insane. Like it just sounds insane because Ashen Sari is insane and Null is insane. So if you combine those two, sounds like you're gonna have a good time for sure. Okay, I'm a dragon, so taking 50 HP is like a joke. It must be a contrast, or very contrasting for the viewers of Torinsky to see a very fragile character followed up by such a robust character. They are both kind of glass cannony in their own way. Like in order to get a cat that late into the game, you need to be glass cannoning. You need to be able to kill things before they kill you. For an ogre, I could be wearing gold scales and I would be very tanky, but I ended up going the dragon form route. I don't know. I wanted to go for statue form as well, but I don't think I ever found it. Let's see. Nope, no statue form, but it hasn't been necessary for this character. The raw damage output of dragon form is enough. Definitely offsets for the lack of defenses. The old-fashioned Sari sounds fun. It really is. It was your first time using new Ashen Sari. You like that ogre build. Who needs armor class, evasion, and shield when you have 400 HP and you deal incredible melee damage and you have Manifold Assault? Yeah, Manifold Assault Dragon form is so powerful. Like you really don't comprehend how powerful it is until you put it in a character. Like the next time I see a monster, I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, let's see. That golden dragon is like at full HP, 100 HP, right? Manifold Assault. You mold a golden dragon. Now it's heavily wounded. One more. Oh, we got a bad roll there. We got just a hit. And then we missed. But whenever we hit things, we hit them really hard. That's the point. Like, look at that white draconian that was right there. It got one shot. That guy was actually like at full HP and now it's dead from a single level 5 cast spell that we have on the quiver. So we can mash on it. We don't even need to target it, it just happens. I do have to say that Manifold Assault kinda sucks against summoners because the Manifold Assault attack targets the summons. Since it's random, you don't get to choose what you're gonna be attacking with Manifold Assault. So since there's more summons than real monsters, chances are good that it's gonna hit the summons. But for those occasions, I guess you should have other spells. If you get a spellcaster this late into the game, you can definitely cast some other things. Especially Dragon 4 plus Manifold Assault. It carried your cat as well. Yeah, I love to see it. So good. Let me drop that Phantom Mirror. This character has 0 evocations. Since we have -1 aptitudes on a lot of magic things, and we have been training a lot of different skills, I haven't really had the experience to put into evocations. And when I got to the point where I actually was able to train other things, I figured that there was no need for evocations anymore. Like, we have incredible damage already, and we have utility in the form of invocations from Lugonu. Like, if I really wanted to, I could banish things and stuff. I don't think I've ever banished anything. I haven't banished, I haven't corrupted, and I haven't used the part of the Abyss either. So the only abilities that I've used are Bend Space and once Enter the Abyss. How much HP does a cat have with Dragon Form? Let me guess. Somewhere around less than 300. 200 and maybe 40 HP? No, it has to be less than that. 220 probably with 27 fighting? That's what I would guess. You cast it at the end of your run? So you will take a quick look? Alright. Usually just to stay on statue form. Statue form is a much safer way to go through life as a cat. Statue form gives you almost human in plate stats if you think about it. You get decent armor class and decent HP. It's like it decatifies your cat. And it also normally melts a bunch of the things that you cannot already use as a cat, so it's not an issue in that regard. Let me fly into that ice statue, shoot some fire, shoot some fire. Can you please not do that? Maybe it is not so safe to be a dragon in front of an ice statue, but it was not that big of an issue. We killed everything. Alright, that was it. And this time we didn't find any caustic strikes. So that's pretty good. That was the one thing that I was truly scared of when I got this bolt, the possibility of caustic strikes. 223 with 27 fighting and around 24 transmutations. Dragon Form's HP doesn't scale with spell power. You only just get like 50% more than what you normally have. So if I cancel out of statue or out of Dragon Form, 275, add half of that to it, and we get the Dragon Form's 412 HP. One time the cat passed 200 HP. Man, I am allergic to cats. Like, I really am allergic to cats. Funny thing, I am allergic to cats in Crawl, and I am allergic to cats in real life. They're like very cute creatures, but they are literally toxic to me, so I cannot be within their vicinity for too long. But in Crawl, I am allergic to cats because I feel like cats are a very dull experience. Everything two-shots you, like literally everything two-shots you. That is not a good thing. And you also don't get to use so many of the cool, funny items that you end up finding in a normal run, like no armor, no weapons, no shields. Like, it's just a bunch of things that I like to use that I cannot use as a cat. So I think I've won cat twice in the entirety of the time that I've been playing Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. They're really not my favorite. I think both of the times that I won cat, they were some of the last, if not the last species that I needed to win to get great player or greater player, whatever it is on the respective accounts where I won them. Oh, by the way, look at my HP. I am berserking in dragon form with 621 HP. Ah, it's so good. Very true. Fun for a challenge run, but you would probably not play them much for fun. There are some people who legit play cat for fun. I cannot comprehend those people. I mean, power to them, but I don't know how they do it. I would hate this game if I had to streak cats. And there's people with like streaks of like 15 cats and stuff like that. Part of why you like Null so much is for the exact reason you can use everything you find. You love the Berserk Ogre Dragon, yeah? I can even do that on my own because I have 4 potions of Zerk. So if things get really bad, I can always get 600 HP out of nowhere. Like 600 HP in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. That is Not a thing that you see very often. Anyway, we're destroying Sot. Like we are actually just murdering everything. Everything is being thrown into the blender. They don't stay alive for too long when I am meleeing them. Present. Hey, thank you for stopping by, Gemini. You arrive just in time to see the end of this character. Just out of curiosity, I want to see how likely am I to banish a death cough. 78%. It's good to know. I can kill it if it's alone, even if it slows me, like it's not an issue. But if it comes alongside anything else, I should banish them so I don't get slowed. That's a very important thing to prevent. Slow kills. Oh, you know what also kills? Quicksilver dragons taking away my dragon form. I can punch things, but I need to unwield my dagger, and it's kind of annoying. Does this mean we get more than 3 runes? Probably not with this character. Not with Lugonu either. Lugonu is not a really good 15 rune god. If I was going to do that, I wouldn't have started an Abyssal Knight to begin with. Also keep in mind this is potentially a one-on-one, so I wanna just get the win. I don't wanna do anything fancy like abandon Lugonu, go the Shining One, deal with Lugonu's Wrath. I don't think it vanishes you anymore, or I don't think it vanishes you that frequently anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if it still banished you. But yeah, it's just not what I'm going for with this character. Lucy lets you eject from Tomb 2 at any time and health. You can just farm Abyss until your drain is gone. That doesn't sound that bad, but it does sound kinda boring. I'm also not a big fan of doing extended, as you probably know. Let me unwheel that. There we go. 3 form is pretty good for Curse Toes because it makes you immune to Torment. And that is like the greatest danger of dealing with a Curse Toe. The fact that you're going to get tormented and then finished off by the fungi. Fungi? Fungi? It's probably fungi. I think I've heard fungi before. I always talk about it, but it is kind of complicated for me to like know the proper pronunciation of words. Because in English, like you can read 2 words that are written the same, but they are pronounced differently. That is not a thing that happens in Spanish at all. In Spanish, thanks to punctuation and like accents and stuff, you can read a word and you can know exactly how it is supposed to be pronounced. Um, Fungi sounds appropriate. Fungi, yeah. Now that I think of it, it really does sound kind of appropriate. Manifold. I'm getting hit by a ghost moth. I think I'm gonna drink invisibility just to not lose all of my mana. Manifold. Manifold. And oh no, what am I going to do? I lost 130 HP. Oh wait, I still have more than 60% of my HP. Oh man, this is so much fun. I enjoy it so much. No wonder I play so much Ogre. It even compensates for the fact that the early game was so difficult with this character. I mentioned it earlier on the stream, but every like I found like 5 white bands, like 1 or 2 white bands every floor for like 3 or 4 floors. It was awful. It was so bad because the character was so weak that I had to pillar dance and stair dance single whites because they were hitting me for like half of my HP every attack. And I am an ogre, so yeah. It was not good, but it's been a long way since then, and now I have Dragon form, and I also have Orb of Destruction, so whenever I encounter Orbs of Fire, we can definitely go ahead and Orb of Destruction them. Or I guess this Death Cove as well. Ah, it missed. Should have gone for the Dragon form. Dragon form is like Orb of Destruction, but in your melee. Okay. It's not fine, but it's also not terrible. Okie dokie. Yeah, normally I dive Sot, but I don't really feel the need to do that with this character. What I do feel the need to do, however, is to run away from that Orb of Fire. I would kill it easily with more mana. I would just manifold, but with only 5 mana, I would have to use a potion of mana. I don't feel the need to do that. Oh, Torinsky, thank you for following. I appreciate it. Okay, manifold. And I guess at this point we can wait. Look at that Orb of Fire, heavily damaged already. So that blow dealt like around 50% of the Orb of Fire's HP. We just two-shot an Orb of Fire. Think about that. We just two-shot an Orb of Fire. How many characters do that? It's not a common thing. We can unwheel that and just punch that Black Draconian because I do have almost 20 unarmed combat. So my normal punches are gonna deal good damage. I don't need to be in dragon form, but dragon form does help because I have better what kind of character is this? I have better defenses in dragon form than outside of dragon form. You were following? Ah, it's fine, no big deal. Don't worry about it. What is important is that you're following now. That's the good stuff. But yeah, man, this character is just like I'm having a blast. This is normally the character I would indeed take to a 15 rune. However, I am not going to because Lugonu. Lugonu is the thing that is stopping me from doing so. And I don't want to abandon as well. I'm just going to secure the win and go to bed very happy after having such a crazy good character. Yeah, if you're thinking of doing this yourself, my recommendation is to go first for something that you can use to kill things, and then go for first dragon form, then manifold assault, then unarmed combat in that order. Unless the thing that you were doing to kill things was unarmed combat. In that case, I guess you can get unarmed combat first, and then focus on dragon form, and then manifold assault. But yeah, probably get manifold assault after getting dragon form because manifold assault becomes significantly more powerful if you are casting if you're casting it after casting dragon form. Okay, yikes, big damage on those guys. What did we just get? Oh, that was almost good. Harm is the deal breaker. I think Harm would allow me to one-shot pretty much everything with manifold assault. And the cold resistance is also not bad. However, I am allergic to using Harm, just as allergic as I am of cats, because they are kind of similar in a sense. Like, Harm effectively reduces your maximum HP. Like, you don't see it, but it does that because everything deals more damage. And that is not a good thing. Yeah, you wanna have as much HP as possible, as exemplified by my character, by the way. Harm would be ridiculous on this character, but very scary. Yeah, this character can take hits of 100 HP, but it would prefer not to take hits of 100 HP. And I feel like if I put on Harm, it would happen much more frequently. Maybe if I had found it earlier, but knowing myself, I would just like not use it. But yeah, leaving Harm aside, that would have been a pretty decent amulet for this character because it gave slaying and it gave cold resistance, and you can never have enough slaying. And cold resistance is something that this character really craves for because you feel a terrible chill. Fortunately, that only dealt 11, but it could have dealt way more than 11. Okay, yeah, just like that. It's funny how the Blast of Cold hit me and it pretty much tore half of my face off, and the Searing Blast hits me and it's like, nah, it didn't do anything. Anyway, as long as it's only one guy hitting me with cold attacks, we can kill said guy pretty quickly. The other monsters don't really do anything. Oh, I got marked. Let's get out of here. Yeah, mark is a status effect that you really have to respect. Hey, look at my HP in dragon form. Health restore 666. I think I should turn off fighting because of that. Yeah, no more fighting. Harm exists for when you really want a glass cannon. Harm exists if you want to turn your deep elf into a cat, but also one-shot everything with Firestorm the turn they enter the screen. Um, yeah, I think I've used harm on a deep elf before, but it's not something that I am too much of a fan of using. I can also see it being kinda good on, or as good as it can be on rangers. Um, Marksmen, I guess you could also call them. Characters that are using launchers or throwing things. Um, those characters can definitely make the most out of harm because you are already like not taking as much damage as a normal character that just presses staff. Mm, but I still not want to use harm in that situation. It's just not a thing that I like. But that's just me. Maybe you will find that harm will be good for you. Let's exclude that and kill everything. And I always mention it when I do Sot, but the reason why I choose to do that is because if I kill everything and I have to teleport, it is more likely for me to land in a safe spot if I get rid of all the monsters that are outside of the vault. It's just like increasing the possibility, you know? Um, Also, there's people that like to stealthily steal the orb, just like sneak past everything, grab the orb, and like teleport out. That is not my style. I like to kill everyone. My strategy is to kill all the dudes because if you kill all the dudes, there's less chances of a dude stumbling upon you when you're on your way out. Ooh, this is not a good layout. Like, you would normally see that there's no traps here and go over here, but the this part of the long has 3 Sot traps. Luckily, there's no like blink traps, dispersal traps, but 3 Sot traps, especially this one. That is not an arena that we can fight on. On the other hand, the other long is much more benign, like less evil, I guess. That's another way to put it. Less evil, much more manageable. So I'm gonna go for the other one, even though it does ask me to step on a dispersal trap. Maybe I have an item with minus tele, so I can do that. Well, the one time that I want an item with minus tele and it doesn't generate, tragic. Need to pop out with the doggo for a minute, but hopefully we'll be back for the end of the run. Best of luck until I get back, for sure. I'm pretty sure Tolinsky already left with the dog, but I'm still gonna say thank you for the good wishes, Tolinsky. You agree that harm is a no-go? Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, we are trapped in, pretty much. Hopefully things will go well. In case they don't, I'm gonna drink Brilliance preemptively because I'm gonna use mana here for Manifold Assault. Brilliance doubles your mana by halving the mana cost of whatever spell you cast, so it effectively gives you double mana, in addition to a sprinkle of extra spell power. But I think the most important effect of Brilliance is the fact that it makes your spells cost less. There's some people who like the old Brilliance a lot more. I like the current Brilliance so much better than I ever liked the old Brilliance. I feel like I actually use it much more than I ever did with old characters. Okay, we get rid of that Killer Clown. Still have a good amount of mana. Hey, experience level 27. Let's level up dexterity for good luck. Now I have 10 dexterity, 30 strength, 25 intelligence. Not so bad. And if I wield this dagger, now I have 30 intelligence as well. It went invisible. Now I can't manifold it. You can't see anything to attack. So yeah, you really do need to see the thing in order to be able to attack it with manifold. Well, normally I would walk towards it, but I think I can use fog instead. That's the safe thing to do. Summons an Ice Fiend, and then gets one shot. Alright. That Ice Fiend could have been dangerous, considering my weakness to cold. It could be temporarily remediated by drinking resistance, something that I have yet to do with this character. Okay, it seems that the two leeches have invisibility. I didn't notice that. Okay, there we go. 3-shot the Ancient Leech. Leeches going invisible is annoying because I cannot manifold them. Manifold, almost get a one-shot, almost destroy it with a single manifold. We miss, and we kill the Orb of Fire. No bad mutations. Excellent. Oh, by the way, we have 40 strength in dragon form. That definitely contributes to the ridiculous damage output that dragon form already has by default. Okay. This has been one of the easiest Sot 5s that I've ever had. Like, we haven't come even remotely close to being in danger. We just murder monsters in 2 attacks. And yeah, overwhelming offense is really the way to go in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. You can forsake defense, but obviously it is best to have both overwhelming offense and immovable defense. Unmovable? I don't know how to pronounce that word, but you know what I meant. I am marked. That could be bad. Let me drink Brilliance so I can keep casting Manifold. Maybe even Might and Haste. Yeah, Haste and Might. Okay, still pretty healthy. Almost one-shot that Orb Guardian. Okay, it's going well. You destroy the Orb of Fire. I have enough mana for one more. We kill the Ancient Lich. I can break line of sight momentarily to gain back some mana. That's pretty good. And I also have Lugonu's tools if I so desire to use them. I can go into the Abyss, but most likely I can also corrupt and banish 2 Orbs of Fire, soon to be 0 Orbs of Fire. Heavily damaged. You destroy. Heavily damaged. I am going to banish this Death Cough because I don't want to be slowed. That is completely fine. Corrupt everything for funsies. Maybe. I am going to wait until I need to corrupt because it is a thing that, like, it is something that you can only do once per floor. So I cannot spam it. Gonna drink a mana. Okay. Pretty good. Didn't get hit by Quicksilver, at least not yet. The bolt of dispelling energy hits you. Tragic. Let's refresh Dragon form then. You feel a little less clever now. Pretty big radius that you do it in, so you should be fine. Yeah, for sure. Okay, this is an Ancient Lich. I should get rid of it. There we go. Single melee attack did the trick. Oh, I like that the Ancient Lich is still extremely dangerous. I wonder why. I wonder why is it marked as extremely dangerous. I have had characters in the past where Liches don't appear extremely dangerous. I wonder if that's a new thing and they are just like extremely dangerous for every character. Let me unwield my weapon so we can punch this Dread Lich. There we go. Good old Boxer Ogre. We might be done here because we did get marked. We get netted, we blink. Probably shouldn't fight in line of sight of that trap. Oh, wait, it cannot happen. I think maybe we got flavor text? No, we didn't. It doesn't trigger every time, fortunately. It used to do that when it got implemented, those net traps. And that was absolutely horrendous. So fortunately, that doesn't happen anymore. But the thing is that if you're a dragon, you can't get netted. Like you're straight up immune to nets as a dragon because you're too big. So a monster trying to drop a net on me when I am in dragon form would have been fun. I would have liked to see that flavor text. But anyway, we killed everything, so the time has come for me to pick up the orphan, get out of here, and so we shall do just that. Go D0. Smoke Demon. A care of. We can kill it easily. Shadow Demon. Green Death. Green Death is easy. Not dangerous. The only thing that I'm truly afraid of is a Pandemonium Lord with like Glaciate or Polar Vortex, that kind of stuff. I guess I would also be nervous to see, or if I was to see a nice fiend. Okay, this guy's getting annoying. We're gonna banish you. Kidoki. Still no bad mutations from the multiple malmutators that we have fought through Sot. So that's pretty good. Back just in time for the Orb run. Yeah, we murdered everything in Sot. Like, we didn't really get into any tricky situations in Sot. Like, I still have all my Scrolls of Blinking. I used, like, a couple of them earlier in the game, but not anymore. Dragonform Manifold Assault is just that powerful. And we are on the way up. We're almost out. D4. I remember that D4 had a Nork Wizard with a Wand of Acid that almost killed me. Yeah, the new demon spawns. I like that they now are like unified into being demon spawns. They're not like different classes of demon spawn. You have too many embarrassing deaths in SOT 5. Yeah, it happens. It's something that you eventually grow away from. But at the start, you do get a lot of deaths in SOT 5. As for myself, I have a lot of embarrassing deaths on Bolt 5. That's why I often choose not to do it. But this was the correct character for doing that. Yeah, we got. Oh, I gained some HP from leveling up. So no more 666 HP, I see. Okay, so these were the final skills for this character. I got Orb of Destruction and I never cast it on an Orb of Fire because Dragon Form Manifold was enough. Um, as you can see, I also got 15 Conjurations. Well, 15 Conjurations for the Orb of Destruction. I think it added a bit of damage for Irradiate, but by the time I got 15 Conjurations, I wasn't really using Irradiate that much anymore. This character wasn't really a high spell power character. It was a bit crippled by its starting intelligence of 11. I pretty much put every level up into intelligence, and I am also using items that give me intelligence. Let me end transformation real quick. Yeah, 30 intelligence, and I still don't have a lot of spell power. It's like 42% on Irradiate. Fortunately, I didn't really need the spell power. Dragon Form is good whether you can barely cast it or whether you have 100% spell power. Corrupt now? I guess we can corrupt now. Lugonus' Hand of Corruption reaches out, and as you can see now it's grayed out. This place is already infused with evil and corruption. Tormentor. I think it can torment me. I would appreciate it if it didn't torment me. Well, anyway, we are gonna cast, or we're gonna drink Brilliance, and Invisibility, and Haste, and Might, and Mana, and cast Dragon Form, and then drink a Potion of Cirque, and then get out of here with 16 armor class. Oh, let me quiver something. Something funny. Oh, the Dark Mole, of course. We're gonna quiver the Dark Mole, and we're also gonna inscribe the Dark Mole. Um, I went into the dungeon, and all I got was this. Mm, what could be a good inscription for this for the Dark Mole? For a very brief period of time, I considered going Dark Mole Manifold Assault, but Dragonform Manifold Assault is better, safer, and cheaper. Like it actually, I think it deals more damage than Dark Mole, and it also attacks faster, so it's just better. Oh, I know what I'm gonna write here. Twitch.tv/Torinsky. Thank you for the rate. Um, you can think of a funny name for the mole. GG, well played. Yeah, there we go. That's a one-on-one Abyssal Knight. So now this account has greater one-on-one. It is a shame that we found a Dark Mole. On this character that was like married to Lugonu. If I wasn't an Abyssal Knight, I would have definitely gone Okawaru because we also found the Dark Mole super early in the game. Level 2, level 12 of the dungeon, a bit late, a bit later than when you would normally pick a goth, but maybe I could have picked Okawaru, and then Dark Mole with Okawaru with finesse is like exquisite because you can actually swing it faster um, than 1.6. You can swing it at zero point 0.8 delay, and that is like amazing because base damage 52, right? Like that is absurd. Love seeing the end of the run. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for triggering my new raid alert. That's the first time I see it triggered. Of course, I have the file in my computer, but yeah, it's pretty nice. I enjoyed sharing this with you all. I was actually going to end stream before the raid, but then the raid happened, and I was like, maybe I should just finish the character. We're already almost there. So yeah, pretty good loadout at the end. That amulet of resistance to electricity and regen, it was pretty good. Imagine that instead of saying resistance to electricity, it said 5 slaying, because that's what it was. It allowed me to take off a ring that I was only using for the resistance to electricity that had -5 slaying. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Was a pretty good character. I will be back on Thursday with more Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I still don't know what I'm gonna be playing on Thursday, but I will be here with another character. Maybe what haven't I played in a while? I don't know. What haven't I played in a while? There's a command that lets you know what species you haven't won in a long time. I'm gonna run it and I'll have something figured out by the time I stream next. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. If you're not following already, you should consider doing so. I would appreciate it if you did. If you're already following, you should consider subscribing. Of course, you don't have to subscribe, but I appreciate it if you do, and it does help me like continue with the stream and stuff. As I have mentioned in the past, for 2021, I want to have a face cam, but like I would need to buy a webcam and all that stuff. So your contributions really do help me in that regard. Like they directly improve the stream. Let's see if someone is if someone is streaming crawl. Um, if not, I already saw something that I want to rate. Nope, as is tradition, only me. I am the only one playing Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, so I think we're gonna rate Dunker Slam, who is playing Noita. If you are like a follower of the stream, I have mentioned Noita in the past. It is a very enjoyable game, but the more you extend yourself on Noita, the less fun it gets. At least that is my experience. Dunker Slam goes for short runs in Noita more often than not. So I really enjoy his content. He's also really good at Noita. I would consider him to be like my equivalent for Noita. Like he knows a lot and he's super good. So it is a treat to watch him. He also explains his thought process in a very detailed way, just as I do. But anyway, let's just start the raid. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on Thursday, as I mentioned before. Maybe I start earlier with Terraria, but that is yet to be determined. Regardless, I am going to be playing Crawl on Thursday. So yeah, see you around.